2021. The multilateral institution said this in its report titled Resilience Through Reforms. According to the report, EMT levy was introduced in the Finance Act 2020, where it amended the Stamp Duty Act and taps into the growth in electronic fund transfer in Nigeria. Chairman of the Foundation for Economic Research and Training, Akpan Ekpo, has, however, expressed worry over the levy on users of formal financial services, stressing that the levy is remitted to the government. He added that servers and people who use transfers and other financial channels are over-levied, as he mentioned the cost of maintenance fee, transfer fee, and stamp duty in the country. The Securities and Exchange Commission has denied registering MBA Capital and Trading Limited with the Commission. SEC had made this known in a statement distanced the Commission from a statement by MBA Capital and Trading Limited victims, where one Misan Sage had reportedly stated that the MBA had a verified online page and ascertained that the company was registered with the Commission. The statement, however, maintained that MBA Capital Trading have never been registered by the Commission, noting that only persons and institutions registered with the capital are permitted to engage in capital market activities. On the foreign scene, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development has said the tepid economic recovery and slow vaccine rollout program in Africa is threatening the scale of investment recovery. According to the World's Investment Report 2021 released, UNCTAD said the foreign direct investment flows to Africa declined by 60% in 2020 to $40 billion from $47 billion in 2019 as the pandemic continued to have a persistent and multifaceted negative impact on cross-border investments globally and regionally. The report further stated that despite a slight increase in inflows to Nigeria from $2.3 billion in 2019 to $2.4 billion, FDI to West Africa decreased by 18% to $9.8 billion in 2020. In his remark, the UNCTAD's Director, Investment and Enterprise, James Zahn, said the challenging environment affecting all aspects of foreign investment, stressing that despite projections for only a weak investment recovery in 2021, that there is some mitigating factors that signals FDI picking up momentum by 2022. James further narrated that the factors include an expected rise in demand for commodities, especially in the energy sector, as the global economy picks up steam in the second half of 2021, which will result in a higher resource-seeking investment. And that was the business news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget, take responsibility, wash your hands frequently with soap and running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Once again, good afternoon. I am Mel Filson, and thank you very much for listening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Preview.
You're about to listen to
551.
Get ready. It's the world of broadcasting as Today 95.1 FM brings you entertainment, information, education as they unfold every day.
Today 95.1 FM.
Do you know that I'm a petroleum engineer? When I talk about market, do you think I used to climb from 3 alone in this video?
So, and you say you've not benefited anything from Nigeria.
What has been
What was your favorite Nigerian movie growing up? 1, 2, 3. Isakaba. It took time. Conspiracy.
Today 95.1 FM. Don't touch that dial. Make sure you are tuned to your numero uno.
Tell me, where's your money now?
Why, man? Oh, woman,
8 years. 8 fantastic years. My goodness. 8 years of broadcasting from the heart of Pitakwa. We have had this amazing 8 years of romance. And no, this is not a breakup voice note. This is to say thank you. Thank you for all the love, kindness, and dedication. Look at us now. We have 8 years of amazing growth. We couldn't have done it without you. Yes, you. You, our dear listener, you are worth it all. And because of you, we're dedicating the next 8 years to loving you fiercely. And so to start the next 8 years, for this month of our anniversary, you need to stay glued to this channel. We're giving out great prizes. We're giving holiday destination packages to Kenya or Dubai. You decide. We're giving out phones. We're giving out cash. We're giving lots of freebies. You don't want to miss any. We love you so much, and that's no lie. Thank you for 8 years. 8 years of awesome broadcasting.
Take you away. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, let's go. What? Let's go.
Education never ends, and we believe it starts even way earlier than most of us think. On Andre Gorgie, every Tuesday, 1 to 2 p.m., we unravel these various building blocks and its challenges that make you and I better versions of ourselves. Andre Gorgie on Today 95.1 FM. Education never ends, and we believe it starts even way earlier than most of us think. On Andre Gorgie, every Tuesday, 1 to 2 p.m., we unravel these various building blocks and its challenges that make you and I better versions of ourselves. Andre Gorgie on Today 95.1 FM.
It's another Tuesday. It's another, would I say, 1 o'clock hour on a Tuesday. And it's time for us to have the show, Andre Gorgie, where you and I will look at issues pertaining to the educational sector in Nigeria. We want to talk. There's a knowledge is power, or rather the application of knowledge is power. And we believe that the institutions of learning that we do have in our country are supposed to empower young minds, young people with the ability to apply the knowledge that they have acquired in the course of learning through the nursery, the primary, the secondary, and tertiary institutions. But before I delve into conversations or the conversation I have for you today, and even do a proper introduction of myself, for those of you who cannot recognize my voice, I'd like to go through some headlines that caught my attention, still pertaining to the educational sector in Nigeria, most particularly River State. And if you have been listening to Today FM most of today, you would have heard that students of Port Harcourt Technical and Vocational Center staged a protest against the River State government over alleged abandonment of the program. The students particularly pleaded with Governor Nyesom Wike to prevail on the Commissioner for Education, Kanye Ebeku, to allow the free training of River State youths in Port Harcourt to go on. Now, some of the students who spoke to newsmen said they were nominated by their councillors and chairmen to assist them get out of social vices and other crimes. Our correspondent reports that the protesters also issued a 7-day ultimatum for their demand to be met, or they will continue with the protest. Also, a staff of the center, Austin Wago, said all efforts to get the attention of the government through the Commissioner for Education has not been fruitful. Has not been fruitful. And WAG also expressed worry over the condition of the students in a center equipped with state-of-the-art facilities and German-trained instructor by the Rotimi Amechi-led administration. I don't know. This might just form our conversation next week, Tuesday. The attitude of abandoning certain structures, certain facilities, just because it might just give glory to a previous administration or another political party. That should be something that should form conversation here on Today 95.1 FM. I'll look for a way to tailor it and bring it to you, and you air your views on that. But then again, there was a reaction from the River State Ministry of Education, which said that Austin Wager and other organizers of the protest are not staff or staffers of the River State government. The Permanent Secretary Ministry of Education, Chidi Adiele, who came up with this in a statement, said the protesters have no right to engage in any form of protest regarding the Port Harcourt Technical and Vocational School. The ministry also said no responsible donor or agency, including the World Bank, has approached the Commissioner for Education or the government of River State regarding any offer to give free training to River State youths at the Port Harcourt Technical and Vocational School. So I'm thinking in my head, because the River State Ministry of Education also challenged responsible donors who have written or approached the Ministry of Education to offer any free training of River State youths in the PHTVC to make that information public. The ministry is also expecting the police to go in and do a proper investigation. So if the ministry is boldly coming out to say this, I'm wondering, because I'm thinking here again, I don't think any sane person will come out and organize a protest when he's not directly affected by what he's protesting about. So I don't know, but then again, it's a rife conversation, the conversation of the abandonment of certain educational facilities. For what reason? Maybe we should talk about that next week. Maybe that should form the conversation next week. I'm still thinking. But also something else caught my attention, and it is the fact that there is an ongoing imbroglio at the River State College of Health Sciences and Technology. And this is not a new story. It's a story that has gone on for so long a time. It's a story that I want to believe there has been the attempt of sweeping under the carpet. It's a story where the students have lamented, they've complained, they've protested the lack of basic amenities in the college. And yet again, it's another case of abandonment of school structures, allowing the decay of school environments, and it's an attitude that we've come to embrace in a country called Nigeria. And it's sad. We're so good at building new structures, we're so good at constructing new schools and all of that, and abandoning the old ones. And I'm wondering, how long are we going to have this style, this attitude, this mentality? But what do I know? But these stories, these headlines caught my attention pertaining to education, of course. 60 minutes gone. It's time for me to take a pause and bring to you the conversation I have for you today. I am Kalada. I like to think of myself as the man of the people. You're tuned to Today 95.1 FM. Yes, that's the brand. And officially, you're welcome to Andre Gaji. All right, remember, you can join this conversation on Facebook. The handle is at Today95.1 FM. You can find me on Facebook as well at the Kalada, at the Kalada, TheKalada. Go follow the page, like and follow, please, so we can continue the conversation for development right there on social media. Even though these days, they want to regulate it. But hey, let's move on. A couple of weeks ago, yeah, the president had stated that there is no availability of employment. And that caused an uproar on social media, in various media spaces, even on TV. People were reacting, people were talking. The president said, I mean, he did not mince his words. The president said that there is no unemployment. Rather, there is no employment, I beg your pardon. There's no employment at the federal level because all the spaces are taken. There is no vacancy at the state and local government levels because all the spaces are taken. And you see, I want to use that as the basis for my conversation this morning on Andre Gaji, because you and I will agree that we place premium. We do place premium on certification. The reason why a lot of you are going to school, or the reason why a lot of you did go to school, or the reason why a lot of you want your children to go to school is because of the certification. Oh, you're going to be a banker, you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be, you know what I'm talking about. And we've seen people do all sorts. Calm down, don't be scared. I mean, I'm talking to my guest, someone, a student, will be asking a question or two. Just take a deep breath, yeah? So, back to what I was saying. The reason why we go to school, whether it's colleges, whether it's, help me with the tertiary institutions now, whether it's polytechnics, I hear the universities now, right? University College of Education. Okay, College of Education, polytechnics, or even the universities. The reason why we go there is because we want to get a certificate. And right now, I hear the bachelor degree is like WAEC of those days. So right now, everybody wants to get a master's. Everybody wants to get a PhD. Everybody wants to be a professor. Interesting, right? Certification. There's so much premium on that. And 2 weeks ago, if you remember the conversation that we did have, I brought about the statistics where in one university, when we were talking, I think it was 2 weeks ago, about 100,000 people, was it 100,000 there? I can't remember the figure. But, that university alone, about 100,000 people graduated in the year 2021. By the way, unemployment statistics says 33.1 or 3% of the Nigerian population. Wow. So if we have lots of people graduating every year with no job vacancy, I have a question for you. What then? Why then? First of all, what then is inspiring people to go to school and learn? Why are we still learning? Let's look at it from another angle. Young people these days, they come up and they tell you school na scam. That's something we've heard a lot these days, right? That's something people tell you. You know why? Because a lot of them, a large chunk of the young people, by the way, they make up more of the population, the large number of the population in Nigeria. I'm talking about the young people. They make up about 50 to 60% of the population. And they come out and they tell you, see, we are all about acquiring skills, because what we learn in the university, what we learn in secondary school, many a times are not applicable in society. And you and I, we've agreed on this very show that the application of knowledge is what is power, not necessarily knowledge. And if they cannot apply the knowledge that they have acquired in school, in society, when they are done with school, then there is a problem. By the way, it is still in Nigeria. I think it was 2020 or 2019 when the statistics did come out that Nigeria has the highest amount of out-of-school children. It was put at 10.1 million at the time. So imagine 10.1 million young Nigerians, I'm talking about between the ages of 10 to 15 to 16, thereabout, being out of school. That will tell you that in as much as we put a premium on certification, our young people are not going in that direction. Okay, I'll tell you what I mean by putting a premium on certification. Do you know that more people are leaving Nigeria to study abroad? Here in Canada, the number of Nigerians getting study permits increased as at 2019 by 16.1%. I'm giving you statistics today because I want to make a point. 16.1%. That is 1.88% of foreign students in Canada. In the United States, the total of foreign students is about 17% of students in the United States. Nigeria makes 1.4% of foreign students in the United States. That's to tell you how much we put, how much premium we put on certification and going to school. I mean, we are people who love to go to school and acquire knowledge. But again, the amount of people leaving the country for study abroad packages also highlights the decadence, the decay in our learning system in the country. That's what it is. It means that the government is not doing enough, the government is not putting enough. And by the way, with the way the country or the world is going, where we have technology taking the forefront, I mean, cryptocurrency seems to be the in thing, and you don't need certification for that. Photography, all these other skills, you don't need certification. I mean, all you just need to do is follow a photographer for like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, and before you know how to set the camera and you're taking shots, right? What else again? There's something crypto, forex, what else again? Help me now. These things don't need certification. And yet, you and I know that knowledge, or the application of knowledge, is power. In countries like India, where there is massive industrialization, in countries like China, where there is massive industrialization, they also put a premium on their students going to school. But then again, just maybe, when they go to school, they are equipped with knowledge that they can apply, and so it becomes lucrative for them. Now, I want you all to cast your minds back, right? I want you listening right now to cast your mind back to a time when your parents would tell you, go to school. And what was the reason why they told you to go to school? They told you to go to school because if you go to school, when you're old enough, you get a job, right? And you get a job to work in a big company, and you get money to take care of your family. But see, crypto, forex, photography, all the other skills, all the other entrepreneurship settings are giving people money, and they don't even need certification for that. They just need a little bit of unconventional. What's the right word? I'm looking for the right vocabulary right now. They just need a little bit of training. Let's put it like that. Maybe training in the cooking department, training in the photography department, makeup department. All those little hairdressing departments. And before you know, they are big boys, the big girls, and that's what a lot of them are venturing into. So if what made learning lucrative was getting jobs when you graduate, and now government is telling you there are no jobs, and then you and I know that there are no jobs, and young people are already looking at the alternatives. What then makes learning lucrative in Nigeria? That's the question. What then not valuable? Two different things. Now, lucrative. What makes it profitable? Because like I said, in India, in China, in America, when you acquire knowledge, you have the environment to practice what you've learned. You have the environment. Is that not why our doctors are running to Canada? There's the brain drain in large numbers. But I have a student. I'll let her introduce herself. I think she's from the University of Port Harcourt. And I'd like to hear from her briefly in the next 5, 6, 7 minutes why she is learning and not following the footsteps of many of our age mates who say school na scam, and they would rather learn a skill. I like to hear from, because you know one thing they'll tell you. Say, let them go to school. We will drop out. When we drop out, we will employ the people that have gone to school. They work in our companies. And that's something a lot of young people say these days. So we need to talk, because my fear is that in the next 5, 10 years, just maybe, we might be having empty classrooms in the universities, in the college of educations, or the colleges of education, or the what they call the polytechnics. We just might be having empty classes, unlike now that we have almost 500 people in one class. All right, Cynthia, introduce yourself. Tell Port Harcourt good afternoon, or River State, as the case might be. Which is it? Let's hear from you.
Well, Good afternoon, Port Harcourt. My name is Mudu Cynthia. I'm a student of Human Kinetics and Health Education, University of Port Harcourt. Okay, my answers to the question asked, why am I in school? First of all, I'd love to advise young people, aspiring students, or whoever may want to enter into the university system. I'd love to advise you that don't go into school with the mindset of, okay, when I'm done with my first degree or my second degree, I'm going to get a job with it. That's why I'm going. No. That should not be the mindset at which you enter school with. I think you should, while in school, you can acquire a skill. And that's why I solely support study what you love. Study what you love, because we live in a society where parents advise kids, go for law so you can stand better chances to get a job. Or
what did your parents tell you when you
go for nursing?
Nursing.
Yeah. So I can travel abroad.
So that's how you ended up in human kinetics, I guess. So you still not. Let's leave the advice now. Tell us, why do you want to be a graduate? What is it to get the certificate? Is it because why, looking at the Nigerian setting, looking at the global community, why do you want to be a graduate? Tell me. Inspire me to want to go to school, please.
Well, why I would love to get to be a graduate is, other than this certificate, I think being a graduate and going to school, getting educated. You see, going to school and getting educated, they're two different things. Getting educated helps you stand out.
All right.
It helps you stand out. You raise your standards.
When you say helps you stand out, what do you mean?
When I say helps you stand out, like, when people hear you talk, though we have educated illiterates.
Okay.
By this time, by what I'm saying, I mean letting school go through you, not just going through school.
Okay.
When you let school go through you, it's changed your perception and your ideology to things.
And you think I cannot change my ideology and perception without going to school? Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you're saying?
On a rare basis.
Okay. All right. What else inspires you to want to be a graduate?
Enlightenment. You get enlightened. Even if you won't practice what you learned, but at least you have the knowledge. And who knows, someday it can come in handy. Yeah.
All right.
Raising your standard, getting enlightened, and exposure. Exposure.
All right then. Okay. Thank you very much, Cynthia, for being a part of my show.
You're welcome.
I'll be calling you more often, so just get prepared, get prepared. All right, that's Cynthia Modi. She's a student of the Department of Human Kinetics, University of Port Harcourt. And she says that one of the reasons is because it gives you, it sharpens your mind to get the right ideology and perspective. And she said enlightenment, and of course she said
exposure.
Exposure. All right, then. Thank you very much yet again. But I will hear from you after this short break.
Today's news in 60. River State Governor Nyesom Wike has assented to 2 bills passed into law by the State House of Assembly to enhance access to quality health care and enable government to fulfill contractual obligations. The bills signed into law by the governor include Public Procurement Amendment Law Number 1 of 2021 and Contributory Health Protection Program Law Number 3 of 2020. The Executive Director, Sickle Cell Disease Eradication Initiative, Aliyu Usman, has expressed concern about the current 32.6% prevalence rate of sickle cell in Yobe State. On the foreign scene, companies like Moderna and Pfizer's partner BioNTech are using the messenger RNA technology used in COVID-19 vaccine production to spore cancer patient bodies to make vaccines that they hope will help prevent cancer. The companies are already conducting clinical trials to see whether a vaccine made with the same mRNA technology could boost the immune system enough to search out and destroy lingering cancer cells. Today's news in 60.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
right. Okay, so over to you now. Tell me what you think. I'm going to open the phone lines. The question is simple. I mean, I would have loved to argue with Cynthia on our point, but no, I'm not in the mood for arguments today. I'm not in the mood to debate. She said the reason why, a lot of people go to school, exposure, which I agree with her, enlightenment, which I agree with her as well, and then the last one, which was, gives you a higher perspective and ideology, making, you get what I'm saying. But the point is, in all of these things, you can still get without going to school. And that's my thinking. So you see, as time goes on in Nigeria, good reasons why you should go to school is becoming less and less and less available. Less and less. People are beginning to have alternatives. And right now, in our society, it's all about getting rich. Where's the bag? That's the question young people are asking these days. And some of them are getting the bag. Trading forex, doing one skill or the other. They are getting the bag. Do not be deceived. So the question is, how lucrative is schooling these days in Nigeria? But there's a second question, because in school, since we are having an educational program, I'm going to liken the show or the questions to the exams that schools usually would give. Question 1, question 1B, question 1BI, question 1BII. That's what I'm going to do now. So the other question, which I want to think is question 1B, is how do we make our schools lucrative? By the way, according to statistics in Canada, in the United States, in UK, in many of the foreign countries, Asians make a larger population of foreign students. How is Asia developing yet again? Just like Nigeria, just like Africa, they have a premium on acquiring knowledge. But what are they doing with the knowledge that they are acquiring? I guess that's what makes it lucrative in Asia. That's what makes it lucrative in Europe. What they can do with the knowledge that they acquire. So the second question is, how do we make it lucrative? Now, the first question, yet again, how lucrative is schooling in Nigeria? A simple question. I think we asked this question on the Unraveling some 3-4 weeks ago, and the question was like this: if you are giving 10 million naira as against a scholarship to study in any university of your choice in Nigeria, which will you choose? And it's something similar to what we're discussing today. I'll go for the money, by the way. 0817 000 951 and 0810 951 951. Okay, your messages can go on Facebook at Today95.1 FM. Let's start the conversations. Let's discuss and let's talk for development. How lucrative is learning, is schooling, is studying as a Nigerian? Okay, I lost that one. 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yeah, my name is Williams, calling from Ada George.
Williams, are you a student?
No.
Are you a graduate?
No.
Would you like to go to school?
Actually, I would like, but for now, I will not like.
What do you mean by explain, please? What do you mean by that?
Okay, let me explain. You are going to school. You can't tell me that you are going to school for fun. No. You are going to school for your career, to have money to take care of your family and all the rest. But as for now, in this country, going to school, the government is not bringing employment. Would I have enough factory? Would I have anything? So if you look, most of the graduates, they are just sitting at home, saying that things will come. In Nigeria education is not enough. If you graduate from school, it takes only God opportunity, as in God will just give you the opportunity to have just a common work. Like my friend, let me tell you this story. Sorry, my friend that I used to do business with, he sent his 2 children to abroad. One Italy, one London. Coming back from that abroad, did you know that they did not even have one work?
But you see that's the problem. I just said that it is not knowledge that is power. It is actually the application of knowledge that is power. So why are they not applying the knowledge that they have acquired from studying abroad? That's another question.
Yeah, the problem we are having right now is the government. It's the government. We don't going to school right now, bro. Is scam.
Oh, really?
You don't have to doubt me. Going to school right now is scam. I'm telling you, because there are so many graduates. No work. No work. If they okay, how many employment does the government bring out in just a day? No employment. Instead, they move people from even the little work they have. So, bro.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. He says there's nothing lucrative about schooling. I wonder if he's saying the right thing. But let's hear from this caller, 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yes, Kalada, my name is Lawson. I'm calling from Yenegua. And this caller has something different to say.
Lawson, last I checked, you are into the educational sector. I did my findings, by the way. I am right, I should say, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me, what's lucrative? I mean, what's lucrative about schooling in Nigeria? Because in your time, they told you to go to school because you will become a better person for society. Yeah. Well, the young people are not seeing it that way these days.
Yes, because the young people, their mentality is totally different, and they have that wrong mentality concerning going to school. They feel that and think that when you go to school and come out, government will give you job or company will give you job. That is the problem with people today. They go to school and come back and be looking to be employed. Instead of looking in our time, we went to school, come back, looking to create. That is what they don't know. Looking to create is the area nobody is. You see, you go to school, come back.
But Lawson, remember what my student, the guest in the studio, told us. She said one of the reasons is to get enlightenment, and the enlightenment is gotten from the lecturers. So is it not the enlightenment that they get that they would use in society? If what they are taught is to learn, get degrees, come out with first class or second class upper, and go out there, you get jobs, that is what they will do. How many schools are teaching these people to be self-sufficient?
Good. You see, when Obasanjo came, that's why he introduced some courses both in secondary school and even in tertiary institutions. You understand? Like if you go to most universities now and polytechnics, colleges of education, they now have this entrepreneurship. They have it now.
But those things are still basic. Teaching them how to do soap making, teaching them how to do. But those things are things they can learn even outside universities.
Good. That is why some people who are even out of the university will go and acquire skills.
Okay.
See, let me tell you something. Obasanjo went to Ekiti State. And yes, Ekiti State has more professors than any other state in this country. Every family has a professor in Ekiti State. That's why they are so-called it's a fountain of knowledge. Obasanjo asked them when he went to Ekiti State, because the place, they are poor. Nothing is happening. And he said, fountain of knowledge for what? He asked that question. Because with education, you are supposed to solve societal problems.
All right.
You are supposed to bring development to society. You are supposed to advance society. But with all your education, what has it translated to? Ineptity. He could not find anything. I mean, so, and you have that number of professors. So when you go to school, it is to advance society. Like abroad, when you see the Americans, the Europeans, look at the advancement they are making with their education. Here, our own is to get employed, get paid salary.
So now, if you and I would agree on something, does that mean that it is no longer lucrative in Nigeria, graduating, that is? It's no longer lucrative.
Because there are no more employment.
Okay, all right.
So it is now time for them to use their education, the skills they have acquired, to create.
All right, thank you, Lawson. Lawson, we've got to let you go. Thank you very much. 95.1 FM, your name, your location, your contribution, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon. Sounds like Chris O'Chris.
Yeah, this is Honorable Chris O'Chris.
Welcome there.
Let me tell you something. Education without making it in life is, to me, it makes no sense. For example, I'm not opportunity to go to the higher, but I'm paying a graduate. Does it mean it's not the way I looked at education now from him? The certificate is useless on his hand, because after the whole acquired knowledge, you still end up in working with a sponsor. How can you now appreciate that you went to higher institution and the this and that? Education in Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, if you are going to school to hope to get work in Nigeria, you better go and learn handwork, leave that certificate, higher certificate, who do you have? So it's not about the certificate, it's about what can you offer. If a graduate will still finish all the whole degree, you still come and work for a standard 6 or a primary 6 school start. What is the education for? Why are you going to school?
So let me understand you. You are saying that the only way going to school can be valuable is that people need to use what they have learned to begin to create. That's only
not even create. It's just this time around now that we started hearing that government doesn't create a job.
Graduation. My son is a petroleum. This one hits. My son is a petroleum engineer. All your companies are going home. There are no jobs anywhere. I understand. Yes, I agree with all the people who have said we should create jobs. We who have the certificates, who have the knowledge, we should apply them and create jobs. And I agree with you. I agree with you totally. But there has to be the incentive. There has to be that thing. See, the reason why you are doing business is because at the end of the day, there is the high probability that you become a rich man or a rich woman. The reason why you are a market woman selling pepper or tomatoes is because at the end of the day, you can put food on the table for your family. There's always that incentive to do something. The reason why you probably go to church is because you know in the end, heaven awaits you. Should I continue? There's always an incentive. But looking at it these days, call the young person. What is the incentive for him or for her to go to school? I like hearing someone. 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hello, Canada, this is Hart.
Hart from Auda, welcome.
Canada, education and working is useless.
I can hear you. You need to speak out. You need to speak out, please.
If you go to university and come back, if you go high institution and come back without securing job anywhere, employment is useless. Because like now in Nigeria today, the businessmen that want that extend this country. Graduates have suffering, no work, nothing. Because don't have industry. Our government, instead of them to put billions of naira into the established industry that will employ graduates, they refuse to do that and spend the money in the way that suffer graduates in this country. So it's not. In fact, this country needs total deliverance from God. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I was scrolling through social media yesterday. Let me tell you how I came about this topic. And I heard that Big Brother reunion, something. I don't watch that program, so I only hear. I hear that the program is on air all over again, and I'm wondering what they're doing. I don't know. But I heard there was an argument between two ladies, and one claims to have had 3 higher degree or degrees, and the other one was laughing at her. And with your 3 higher degrees, what have you done with it to come and do Big Brother? And then I'm thinking, let's even put it side by side. Someone who gets amnesty, someone who committed a crime and gets amnesty, where does he go to? He gets scholarship, he gets money monthly, he gets, all of these things. The person who graduated with first class, where is he? He's carrying his file. Look at the sole of his shoe. He's walking around. There's no taxi again. I hear there's hold up everywhere. So he's trekking from OG to Aba Road to submit application. Let's put it side by side. Let's put it side by side. Someone who wins a Big Brother Nigeria gets what? Over 18 million, thereabout. Who born you to get 80 million for graduating first class? These are the issues. So there are incentives for young people. There are things, beginning to catch the attention of the young mind that he no longer thinks school as lucrative. Why should I go learn 1 + 1 = 2 when I can count 100 million plus 100 million is 200 million? Think about it. All right, 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yeah, my name is Jude. Calling from Transamadi.
All right, Jude from Transamadi, welcome.
Yes, based on the question asked, school in Nigeria, they have paid a lot of graduates. Nigeria is a place. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead. I'm trying to get your point now, yeah?
Somebody will go to school 1.5 years, then try to get a rest. You understand? Then the person will now come up, carrying a certificate, cannot even defend the certificate. You understand? So my advice is, it's not going to be very bad, not bad, but go to school, just go to learn how to read and write. Some people today that answering a graduate, they cannot even read and write. I know some of them here. A lot of them. You understand?
Could it be that during their time in school they did not pay so much attention because the world, so to say, the things.
Strike.
Oh, okay, strike.
To learn.
Oh.
Some people will be strike more than 1 year, 2 years. Doesn't care.
Okay.
So Nigeria have seen a lot of people.
All right.
So my advice is, as soon as you graduated, go and look for something to learn. So that you help if you are waiting for Nigeria to give you work, then you are wasting your time. And if you take, during that time you are going to, some people that want to learn to work, some of them are becoming a man now.
They are doing better.
But you are doing better. But you are graduate, you are still roaming around Port Harcourt, looking for work. I will show you one shoe I have. I have one shoe. I keep it on top of my ceiling. The shoe don't talk. Walk around Port Harcourt.
All right, thank you very much. Anytime you hammer, so to say. All right, thank you very much for calling in. Cynthia, I'm going to ask you another question. Do you agree with the last caller that strike is one of the reasons why we have graduates who can't defend their certificates? Is that the reason? Because he's saying, the number of years, or months you spend, at home during striking. You agree?
Yeah, totally.
So you can't defend your certificate when it eventually comes out. Is that what you're saying?
No. But let's look at it this way.
All right.
Okay, because after strike, lecturers tend to rush up everything so we can just take exam and move over to.
Oh my.
So that's the problem. That's the problem.
Okay. After strike, they try to rush you. Oh, I see.
So you don't get to learn everything in detail.
But I have another question for you. I'm putting you on the spot. I'm sorry. I'm totally sorry, but that's how I do my things. I like putting people on the spot. So human kinetics is what you're studying. So when you're done with school, can you be able to use it in society and impact society? And how? Tell me.
Yes.
How? In your head, how have you thought about it?
I was about to say that there are some lucrative courses in school. For example, fishery, human kinetics. Human kinetics is such a course that people underestimate human kinetics. In my school, they tend to laugh at us and belittle us.
I'm one of those people.
They call us jumpology. You get jumpology.
Yeah.
But jumpology is really feeding lots of students and lecturers inclusive. Do you know why? Because there are many, not job opportunities, business opportunities in human kinetics.
That can make you a millionaire.
Yeah. Like
that can make you a billionaire. Let me put it that. All right.
Being a billionaire, okay, let me not deviate, but being a billionaire is how you tend to manage that little thing you can do.
Right.
Now, back to what I was saying. Okay, human kinetics, you can be a gym instructor. You can own your own gym. Do you know how many people who
want to work out?
Yeah, you can be a master. So people who massage people, you know, you can. There are lots and lots of business opportunities in human kinetics.
Now I see
that
why
people are paying. Like they're being blind about it, and that's not fair.
Now I see why there's so much spa opening in Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
Many people graduating from the human kinetics department. But back to the phone lines, 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
I'm talking about the voice of democracy. Canada, I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Oh, the voice of democracy is calling the voice of the people and talking to the man of the people. Interesting. Let's have a conversation then.
Canada, you know that all what people are saying, you know, is just applicable to Nigeria. Going to school, you know, is not lucrative. You know, it's like a waste of time. Those who learn handwork, you know, they tend to do better. You understand? This feeling or this assumption that going to school, you know, is worthless. Don't you think that it's just applicable to Nigeria? And when you get
that's what we're saying. We're saying the same things. How can we make it lucrative?
No, they are not true. Also, it is generally not true. They cannot generalize that statement. It is not true.
We see, now pause now. Toby, we are talking Nigeria. We are not talking outside. Moreover, I told you in Asia, where there is massive industrialization, they make up the larger population of foreign students in countries like the United States and Canada. I mentioned that already. So the point is, we know that application of knowledge is good, but why is it so non-lucrative in Nigeria? Why is it the way it is in Nigeria? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, let me tell you. I studied accounting. I also did finance in University of Port Harcourt. The thing is that we have a contractive economy in Nigeria. The volume of money, you know, in Nigeria is contractive. Listen, when we sell our crude oil, how do we spend the money to expand the economy? Listen, if a private station was not open, your practice would have been limited. Because you need a macro surface where such money will be, you know, will expand the economy. Yeah, because the resources of people, you know, I mean, it's not used to expand the economy where, you know, we call it enabling environment. So this is said to be limited. And even the oil, look at the refineries are not even working. So look at how destructive. You imagine whether those leading us have really gone to school, because you're supposed to open refineries. Look at it, even in Niger Delta here, we're talking about food. We don't even have one refinery working. No modular refinery and all that. Just one product from Nigeria, we have not even gone to agriculture. You can't even buy plantain in market. Why? That is the truth. We don't commercialize agriculture. So that is the problem.
Oh, I see. Thank you very much. So you're saying management of resources. But if management of resources is a problem in Nigeria, and you and I will agree, we've seen several governments come in and gone, and still management of resources seem to be the major complaint of Nigerians. If that be the case, that will mean that you and I going to school. What happens in the next 5 years then? See, this is not for you to be less inspired about going to school. This is a wake-up call to every Nigerian, most especially those of you living in River State, that in the next 5 years, if we continue to travel the way we're traveling, if we continue to act the way we acted, my gosh, like I said, we might just be having 20 people in classrooms in the universities and tertiary institutions. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Good afternoon to you.
This is Pastor Law from Port Harcourt.
Pastor Law, welcome.
Canada, let me tell you something. If you go to school for example, person like you now, you are working, right?
Yeah, I'm working. That's why I'm in the studio.
Did you keep any money somewhere so that when you, after your school, you just go and establish a business to start employing people?
Some people did. Maybe I did not, but
Except if you come from a rich house.
Okay.
Then there is opportunity for you. But what about those people that came out from poor families? So when they came out from when they graduated, what would they use to set up industry or company?
Pastor,
whereby they employ people.
Pastor, there are motivational speakers who will tell you inspire to aspire. Start with your 1 naira and it will turn to 1 billion eventually.
And that is why after graduating, they will still go for another training, another education. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
So, my brother, we should not be deceiving ourselves. I heard somebody said we went to school to acquire knowledge, to do this. He himself is working. They are paying him salary. Right. How much did he want to establish industry? Right. We should not be deceiving ourselves. Right. So, it's good to go to school. Going to school is to prepare yourself for opportunity in future. So that when the opportunity comes, you can fit in. Right. And that is just... So it's not left for our government to arrange things. Let there be industry and many other things that where people come out from school, they can easily go to work and gather money and do something. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you are our last caller. And that's how we wrap up the show. Yeah, we have to close the curtain on Andre Gaji right about now and bring you to this also up next. But hey, let's do this next week, Tuesday again. And I'm discussing with Cynthia right about now, and we're thinking maybe next week we will look at the abandonment of school structures in River State. So get yourself ready, get your facts ready, get your pictorial evidence ready. We will be making the show a blast next week. Oh, for those of you who drop messages on Facebook, I'm sorry I couldn't read them. Probably will read them before the start of the next show, just to make you feel a part of the show, just to make sure you are a part of the show rather. I'm Kalada and I'm signing out for now.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Board Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon. Here is the news update at 2 on Today 95.1 FM. I am Kalada Kurubatibo. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the composition of the federal government's team to engage with Twitter over the recent suspension of its operations in Nigeria. The approval was announced in a statement in Abuja on Tuesday by the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who will chair the team. The federal government's team also comprises the Attorney General of the Federation and Honorable Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Works and Housing, Minister of State for Labor and Employment, as well as other relevant government agencies. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated the newly elected president of Iran, Ibrahim Raisi, promising the nation of closer cooperation. In a statement by Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Gaba Shehu, the election of Raisi has again shown the will of the people to the success of democracy anywhere in the world. President Buhari explained that democracy gives voters the opportunity to change or re-elect their representatives by peaceful means. He described Raisi as an ideal politician with experience to lead his country to greater heights and a better future. The Senate has confirmed the nomination of Major General Farouk Yahaya for appointment as Chief of Army Staff. Yahaya's confirmation followed the presentation and consideration of the report of the Joint Senate Committee on Defense and Army at plenary. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Defense, Senator Aliyu Wamako, presented the report. Major General Yahaya was appointed as the acting Chief of Army Staff following the death of his predecessor, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atairu, who died in a military plane crash in Kaduna. Over 13 vehicles have been destroyed in a fuel tanker explosion around a trailer park at Ugere, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The vehicles involved in the inferno include 6 tankers, 5 trucks, and 2 cars. According to eyewitnesses, the explosion occurred at about 6:20 a.m. on Tuesday, causing traffic outward Lagos State. Officials told newsmen that the number of casualties cannot be ascertained for now. Motorists plying the Oyibo Afam Road in Oyibo local government area of Rivers State have expressed displeasure over the deplorable state of the road. The commercial drivers said the bad state of the road has negatively affected their businesses as economic activities in the area have been paralyzed. Other road users, including passengers who spoke to the FM, said the development has led to high cost of transportation fares. The respondents called for urgent government attention on the road, which they described as the worst road in Rivers State, despite the siting of the recently commissioned cassava processing plant by the state's government on the same axis of the road. On the foreign scene, Rwanda has announced fresh restrictions, including a ban on weddings, as it struggles to contain a surge in coronavirus infections. Other measures due to come into force on Wednesday include the extension of a nationwide curfew, restrictions on movement between districts, and the suspension of air travel to neighboring Uganda, where coronavirus cases are increasing. Rwanda has, up to now, avoided the worst of the pandemic by enforcing some of the stringent containment measures on the continent and implementing a rigorous regime of testing and contact tracing. But over the last few weeks, cases have shot up, with authorities counting 662 cases and 7 deaths on Monday. The country has registered a total of 31,435 positive cases and 388 deaths since the start of the pandemic. And that was the news update at 2 on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget, take responsibility. Wash your hands on a regular with a soap under running water. Alternatively, have with you at all times alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Avoid touching your face and eye contact surfaces to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Good afternoon. I am Kalada Kurubatibor. Stay tuned to this hustle with Wealth Wilson and yours truly up next.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
8 years. 8 fantastic years. My goodness. 8 years of broadcasting from the heart of Pitakwa. We have had this amazing 8 years of romance. And no, this is not a breakup voice note. This is to say thank you. Thank you for all the love, kindness, and dedication. Look at us now. We have 8 years of amazing growth. We couldn't have done it without you. Yes, you, our dear listener, you are worth it all. And because of you, we're dedicating the next 8 years to loving you fiercely. And so to start the next 8 years, for this month of our anniversary, you need to stay glued to this channel. We're giving out great prizes. We're giving holiday destination packages to Kenya or Dubai. You decide. We're giving out phones. We're giving out cash. We're giving lots of freebies. You don't want to miss any. We love you so much, and that's no lie. Thank you for 8 years. 8 years of awesome broadcasting.
Take you away. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, let's go. What? Let's go.
People can no longer take certain things. Nothing is guaranteed. When we were younger, you hardly hear killing. Today is the norm now.
No place is safe. We get president at all. We separate Nigeria, beg.
Kidnapping, assassination. People are dying every day. People are getting killed every day. My friend just got kidnapped.
Tell the Nigerian leaders, or if you like rulers, that they are performing below expectation.
Hope is one of the main guiding force in the human existence. Without hope, we all cease to live. Life ends when you stop believing. The sky may be full of dark clouds, but the little ray of hope for this great nation should not quiver. Let's fan the flames of hope. Nigeria must stand. This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
and experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
Nigeria will rise again.
Because I am here, I will leave this nation
a better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
Let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry out your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
you
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double efforts. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry out your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
you
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double efforts. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
It's a wonderful Tuesday afternoon, 12 minutes gone past 4 o'clock, and you're welcome to another exciting edition of Today's Hustle on your premium talk radio station, Today 95.1 FM. I am Wealth Wilson, and today we'll be looking at the implication of something that happened, I think, some 2 weeks back. Yes, June 5, 2021. We all remember that was the very fateful day when we had Twitter suspended in the country. And I pretty much did not talk about it when it happened. I remember clearly. And I did so because I was thinking that along the line, or pretty much maybe after a week or thereabouts, we'll probably have the federal government and, the microblogging network come together and probably find a soft ground for landing for both parties, because you understand the implication of what that means on the economy and especially on the lives and vocal strength of a good number of persons in the country. But that hasn't happened yet. So let's quickly look at that. We're going to look at it because, the Governor Nyesom Wike, had somewhat pointed it out again, just I think a day ago, when he was talking about the APC and their ploy to ban social media as being hypocritical. We're going to be looking at that, right? So don't go anywhere. The show starts up right after now. All right, now, according to Quads Africa, Nigeria's decision to suspend Twitter indefinitely could backfire for the government and the cost of country economically in terms of new investments into its technology sector. Now, the Nigerian government has suspended Twitter on between June 4 or June 5, somewhere around that. Now, the official press release gave only a vague justification for the actions of the federal government towards the microblogging network. And in quoting them now, they say that they're doing this because Twitter stands as a threat to Nigeria's corporate existence. While only a majority of Nigerians use Twitter, or a minority, I wouldn't say a majority because, what's the survey? And the population of persons within the rural area that have interest in Twitter, and the ones who, even in the urban area, also share interest in the use of Twitter. So would say while only a minority of persons in the country use Twitter, it forms a very, very pivotal part of the vocal and political active segment of the population. Kalada, good afternoon to you.
Did you miss me?
Why did you have to sound like that? Is that your real voice?
We are talking. All right. Good afternoon, Super Saka. Good afternoon, River State, and everybody listening here. So, you were saying.
Now, okay, that sounded the type of way, but okay, back to what I was saying. Nigeria has been among the best performing African countries attracting investments for technology, startup business, and all of that. Now, a good number of critics and analysts have said that the ban on Twitter and the shakiness of the government's position on the use of social media in the country would definitely threaten such technological developments and investments that would probably be coming into the country, as it may send a bad signal on the government's reservation on the vocal strength of the people using these different platforms.
Now, the 2 o'clock news bulletin here, in Al's bulletin, the news was there. He said that the federal government has put up a team that will go and liaise or engage with Twitter and see how
they said that a week ago when Twitter had come up with representatives to speak with the federal government.
True, but now they set up a team that will go meet. Now there's a team that will go meet and now talk details. Now, in their defense, they said countries like Australia, they mentioned a couple of countries that are currently regulating social media, and even said the EU as a bloc is looking at, there's a white paper recommending the control of social media. Now, a lot of people have kicked against it. A lot of people are saying, hey,
this might be a bad idea coming from the style of government and the people we have in the country.
True.
It might backfire for the people in the long run.
But then again, they might just have the point there.
Who has a point? The critics or the federal government?
They might just have a point, because now in their defense, social media has become a space where people no longer they no longer care as long as their propaganda is spreading and is getting the amount of likes that it should get. They no longer care if someone dies or not, as long as the agenda they carry inside of them is reaching the ends of the world, and that's a problem.
Let me also come in there.
In as much as it is good to spread information, in as much as it is good to as a tool in highlighting the government's errors and the government's shortcomings, it's also problematic. There are so many times when false information did spread on social media.
Now, I do understand this particular part, what you've mentioned, yes. But then for the federal government, whom in itself have not been entirely, liberated from also flaunting the free space on social media, I mean, don't you think that that's a little bit too overboard for them, even coming from them? First off, you want to also look at what had prompted the federal government to first of all ban Twitter, and then you would check that it is also because of an inciting statement made by the government in itself that propagated the whole issue that we have right now. And it's not the first time, neither is it going to be the second time, where we'll have government officials or political party members and stakeholders use social media for their own selfish gain, not just for selfish gain, but also spreading some ideologies or inciting statements that of course have caused for further division and tension amongst regions and ethnic groups in the country. So they too are liable to the same issues that they blame a good majority of Nigerians. So it's pretty much a scale that they too are pressing on.
If there's a law, we will be able to hold the government accountable.
But if the government
and
wants
say,
the
government,
people, if the government is saying that the people have to come to the realization of how insightful or the problems that they could cause or can emanate as a result of their false information and their insightful statement, they too should take a cue from what they say, isn't it?
See,
I mean, I would
said,
say the same reason that caused us to be in this situation where Twitter is suspended is also as a result of the statement that the federal government in itself had made. So it means they too are pressing on that scale.
Wait.
So it's like a 50-50 balance.
Like I said, if there is a rule that is known by everyone, for instance, governments over the years, not just this administration, we've seen them in so many areas, and we are able to call their shortcomings because there is a constitution, a law, a legal document that says this is wrong. So I agree with you.
So we need a legal document to point to the government
See, listen,
that what they are doing, saying, or even writing is wrong.
Wealth. I agree with you. There are several occasions when, for instance, there are times when a Gabashe was come out to say something and the president said, that's not me. There are times when Eli Mohammed came out to say something and the president said, I'm shocked, I'm not aware.
Talk about Femi Adesina as well.
False information, I agree with you. But you see, when there is a law, we would also be able to hold Lai Mohammed accountable when he falls short. See, the point is, I want regulation. Any place where there is no regulation. Imagine a world where there were no regulations.
But,
that's what social media is.
That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. But then a certain Lai Mohammed that is in a government that understands how detrimental it could be when falsehood or false information or insightful statements have been put out there in this already tense Nigeria. He understands what that could cause. Still goes ahead to do that.
See,
then he then points that the government in itself only turns to be hypocritical, just as the state governor, the governor of Rivers State had mentioned.
If you know me very well, I am the kind of person, I don't like to do blame games. You don't say, oh, PDP is bad because APC was bad. Or you don't say APC is bad because PDP... I don't... What is bad is bad, and that's what I call it. The truth is, whether we can call it hypocritical or not, I agree. I agree with everybody who says the federal government, on several occasions... By the way, how did they come into office? It's the social media, and whether you like it or not, yes, they might have stated certain facts, but many at other times they did spread propaganda. Let's all be let's all be truthful, and let's use facts now, right? So they also came in using social media, but you see, because they did it and got away with it, does not make it right. Does not say we shouldn't do. Does not mean we shouldn't regulate. See. I want to be there are several times when I have had to fight people on Twitter trying to tell them, see, this thing you are spreading is false. There was a time when during before we got to the point where they were burning police stations, when the smoke and the fire were beginning in the southeast, when ECN was first established, they went on Google. They they searched for an helicopter that was falling, that had been bombed. This is I am tech savvy, so I know how to verify certain pictures.
No.
Do you know that this thing spread to the point it was trending, and even other people outside Nigeria were saying that they have started burning the southeast? And I was trying to show people, see, it's from a movie. It's from a movie. It's on Google.
Kalada, I think
regulations.
I think we're on the same page here. But the problem is the people who are putting forward the regulations, are they not people doing it out of their own vindictive, desires?
Of course
or
they
their
are.
own? That's the problem. That's where the problem is. That's why critics are saying that it could be an attempt to shut up or even stifle the information that spreads across across all social platforms.
That same bone will hook them in the throat.
That's not how it plays out here in Nigeria, Kalada. Let's be very factual.
The truth is, there is so much they can do to avoid the law. We've seen them. 2 weeks ago, the president came out and said, "Oh, he's not really feeling the constitution when we talk about appointments. That it's not true that." But I want to believe he's been wrongly advised because the constitution is clear on that very one. But there are certain things that they can get away with, but not totally all the time. And that's the truth. In this case, because a lot of Nigerians are very much social media savvy, a lot of Nigerians I understand, where Governor Wike is coming from. There is a tendency that the federal government is trying to be vindictive. There's a tendency that they are trying to block the channels in which they used the same channels they used to come into office. There's a possibility they are blocking it so people don't use it to overthrow them or beat them in the elections, the forthcoming elections. I understand all of that. There are those possibilities. They had those conspiracy theories. But in all honesty, in order not to have a repeat of the Rwanda genocide, in order not to have a repeat of Rwanda genocide, somebody just goes on radio and say, they kill her now, and then the people retaliate, something like that. So, and that's what we see on social media. I understand, like you said, social media has been a means by which Nigerians have been able to interact with businesses outside the country, even bringing foreign investments into the country as well. I understand all of that. They are the gains, but we need to regulate so the gains don't turn into something going into the drains. You understand? So we need that regulation. I understand it might be vindictive. The body language of Lai Mohammed, the eagerness to ban it. It's showing that, see, I'm down to get you guys, man. I'm down to break. And I think Wiki got it right there. But the truth is, we need to look at the bigger picture. And I'm one of these people who fear, yes, government might use this social media thingy and Nigerians will see me. I'm one of those people who think in that direction. But in the larger picture, in the long run, I don't think this administration will be there forever. Even if it's APC, it might still be someone with a different ideology, with a different perspective to things, and might use the regulations for the betterment of our society.
Isn't it worrisome that in the first place, that a bill that is supposed to at least naturally come off as good, especially considering the state of affairs in the country, the tension and the plan to try and cement whatever issues that we have as ethnic groups or regions within the country, isn't it worrisome that the people rather would have it go on like this, with the falsehood on social media, than have the government try to regulate it because they fear that the government in itself is
biased?
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's biased. Isn't it also a pointer of a failure on government on all levels?
You see, like Governor Wiki said, it's hypocritical, right? I mean, you use the social media, you did spread sometimes propaganda and now you are saying propaganda is bad. You know, there's that bias. You know, there is that, like you were saying, these guys have done it and they're trying to stop people from doing it. I understand all of that, but also, you see, it's a statement of how Nigeria is fashioned. Government is not for the people, it's not by the people, and it's not of the people, but is of the political party in power, by the political party in power, and of the political party in power. It's still the same Governor Wike who said that they voted for me. That is why they are seeing the road that they, or rather, they did not vote for me. That is why it took me a long time to bring development to the area. So it's government of the political party in power, by the political party in power, and of the political party in power. I know why I'm saying this. You see, it's a statement of how Nigeria is run, because in a sane society, the people will be called. Everybody will come. There will be a meeting. There will be a roundtable conversation. See, I know you think I am trying to gag freedom of speech or stop people from freely speaking, but that's not the case, and I'll prove it to you. These are the reasons why I want to regulate social media. What do you think about it? The people will reply, we have our concerns, so we think you're biased. Okay, but if you regulate it, this is how you should regulate it. And everybody chips in one or two, and in that case, there is a working system. Then people can say, okay, there is a regulation. But you don't just come and say, we are regulating social media, and anybody who types this. Do you know there is a part of it where, you know, in that bill that says, as a journalist, if you err in a way, you risk jail time.
That was the whole, you know, uproar on the government clamping down on journalism as well in the country. So it's really, really worrisome that a government who probably has good intentions, especially with whatever bills or laws that they want to put in place, somewhat gets misconstrued or misinterpreted by the people, because the people fear that the government is not working for their own good. Now, but also looking at it from the angle of the PDP governors, and especially Governor Nyesom Wike, who has come out to also voice his position on the suspension or the social media bill as planned by the current administration. You also want to look at the cases of, you know, information restrictions also here in the States. I mean, some persons feel as though it is a one-man running the show thing, right?
Really? Is that really the case?
I mean, open the phone lines and have people call in and tell you whether or not the governor pays attention or gives ear to the cry of the people who especially did not support him during the time of campaigning and elections.
I think it does. It takes time.
There's one thing to hear, it's another thing to listen and do.
That's what I'm saying. It takes time to respond. I mean, we were the ones shouting for 3 years. I remember when Today's Hustle was all about, it's only in Obiapo and what do you call it, Falga. And look at it these days. You know, he's also boasting that he's going to make sure that every local government feels, you know, his presence or his government or his governance, even though we're now beginning to ask what is the duty of the local government chairman, because Governor Wike seems to be doing, you know, these roads and, you know, these 21-kilometer roads and 16-kilometer roads and all of that. But the truth is, maybe he runs the show and restricts people in terms of governance, but information, I don't know. I really don't know about that one. I really don't. But let's open the phone lines, can we?
Yeah, sure, we will. Right after we come back from the short break. When we come back,
right then,
we'll open the phone lines for those people who did not already have it, because I'm seeing the lines already blink. For those people who did not have it, 0817-00000951 or 0810-951-0951. Those are the numbers that you can call us up with right after we come back.
As the voice of the people, we always have you in mind. So we've got a special package for you. Hoo la la! It's a season of celebration and appreciation as we celebrate 8 solid years of relevance, 8 years of broadcasting and glorious interactions with you. Wow! So we want to say a very big thank you. It's the 8th anniversary of your premium talk, news and sports station, and we will be rewarding you for your loyal listenership. Loads of prizes to be won. Cash prizes, tickets to Kenya, Dubai, or Zanzibar. Hey! And guess what? Brand new smartphones all for you. This could just be you. And hey, don't forget to call me when you finally win. Just keep listening to Today 95.1 FM. Happy 8th anniversary to the voice of the people. We love you. Wait, don't touch that dial.
How would you like to sell out your goods or services really fast? Ever toyed with the idea of doing or participating in an auction, whether as a seller or a buyer? Would you like to buy or sell truly authentic and verified goods or services at pocket-friendly rates like nowhere else in the country? Then tune in to Today 95.1 FM every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Market Floor is the place to be. It's the zebra crossing where sellers and buyers meet, offering delightful experiences at a time to earn, learn, share, and network. Come and see possibilities you never imagined possible. Get on the market floor, trading your goods and services today with the king of sales and marketing, Andy Akotive, on Today FM. Join us. For participation, adverts, comments, and inquiries, please call 0805 405 6991. Market Floor.
Mario, you hear say Doctors Without Borders wey dey treat victims of rape dey for Orobum Health Center, Obunabali for Garrison?
Which kind treatment sef dem dey give victim of rape?
Na treatment to prevent HIV infections plus other sexually transmitted infections. The person need to come clinic with immediate alacrity before 3 days go pass. But if e don pass 3 days wey e happen, make the person still come. Other treatments dey wey dem go give the person too.
I hear say they no dey even collect money and everything go dey confidential. Nobody go hear about am at all.
Na true talk and the clinic dey open 24/7. Nothing like holiday.
Their phone number na 0903 355 5455 or 0705 889 0060.
Our people, remember in case rape happen, carry the person come meet Doctors Without Borders for Orobum Health Center.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Voice of the people.
And we're back.
All right, we'll welcome you back there. Thank you for staying tuned, and it's time for us to listen to you. Do you think that, as stated by the governor of Rivers State, that the federal government has been hypocritical with their attempts at making a social media bill that would, of course, stifle the voice of the media, as some persons put it? Or do you think that regulation pushed by the federal government is, of course, in a good direction, considering the level of falsehood and misinformation that goes around social media platforms? And all of this can continue to incite and cause further division amongst people in the country. 0817-0000951 and 0810-9510951. Let's get to hear from you now. 95.1 FM, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Kalada, good afternoon.
Gift, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Well, today I will not even talk much about this whole thing because my own just for the judgment to come with time so that people will understand. The truth of the matter, they are trying to gag Nigerians, not only press. The press today is crying concerning this bill. The who is gift that is not part of the press to come and argue with the press. If the press, the highest body that concerns anything journalism, is telling you that what we are seeing, this government is coming up with this type of bill that will stifle the whole system, and somebody that is not part of that system will be telling them that you don't know what you are saying. Do you know that a lot of things that Nigerians very soon, things that will unfold.
Gifts. Now, what's his name? Now, Invigodo was talking about the bill entirely. You know, was talking about certain parts of the bill where it affects journalism, for instance, where a journalist would have to go for a jail term. Also talking about who should control the NBC. These were things that he mentioned. But he said overall, when it comes to social media regulation, he did not have so much problems with regulating social media. So you need to get it balanced in that perspective or in that respect, so to say.
In terms of balancing what you are trying to it reminds me of, it's not that anybody or Nigerians are kicking against this. It is the type of government that is in place.
Oh, okay, I get you now.
You understand the point?
Yeah.
You know that water resources bill will soon come up. The only thing for now that is oil that belongs to the people of Niger Delta, somebody has taken it away from you. And now the water that is left, look at how many times they've tried every means possible. People have been kicking against it. And these are the things that people are afraid of. And they will clamp down on innocent Nigerians heavily. And this is the type of government that we have in place. I don't want to contribute much. Let others call in. But if they don't want to come against it, everybody will regret.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Gift, for your contribution. Hello, good afternoon.
Well, it's good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And Canada is there once again to disturb you.
AB, welcome.
Yes, Canada, good to hear from you.
All right.
Yes. You see, one thing I will promise Canada is that I will still remain his friend even when he's in prison. I will be visiting him. He won't be hungry in prison. No,
that's really nice of you.
but then again, like I said, regulating social media is totally different from the other aspect of the bill. I think where Governor Wike's focus was the social media regulation, and which we also focus more on, not the entire bills to say or per se.
I actually listened to Dr. Sado on your Nani's show yesterday. And though I didn't call in, but I agreed with that man completely. Canada, you don't need any form of regulation of the social media. The laws are already there. What this government wants to do is, you remember there was a time they were looking for suspension of the what they call it, the constitution, so that the president can deal with certain issues, with fear.
All right.
So they from day one of this government, we have seen them. They have not been media friendly.
Okay.
Never.
All right.
And so they are looking for every means to make sure that they shut the people up, especially with
so let me ask you a question.
approaching.
Let me ask you a question before I let you go, because I have to let you go now.
Okay.
If it was another government, would you have allowed the regulation of social media?
No government should bother themselves about social media.
All right, then.
No.
All
right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution.
We have a breaking news, so you just stay tuned.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Breaking news.
Hello and good afternoon. Breaking news reaching us. FCT High Court has sentenced the chairman of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on petroleum subsidy regime, Farouk Lawan, to 7 years in prison. We will bring you details in our subsequent bulletin. Again, FCT High Court has sentenced the chairman of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on petroleum subsidy regime, Farouk Lawan, to 7 years in prison.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
All right, you had the breaking news. Briefly, we'll just run through it before we go back to our conversation. And of course, you heard that the FCTI court has sentenced the former chairman, actually, he's the former chairman of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on petroleum subsidy regime, and that's the person of Farouk Lawan, to 7 years in prison. He was alleged to have collected $500,000 bribe from Femi Otedola in 2012. He allegedly asked for the bribe from Otedola to help remove the business moguls company name from the list of firms indicted by the House committee. Lawan filed a no-case submission through his lawyer in October 10, 2019. But hey, look at him now, going 7 years in prison. I think this is victory for. But go ahead.
All right. So still on Premium Times, they had mentioned that this particular case had two judges earlier see to it, and both of them did not see to a reasonable conclusion. One of which, the first one was elevated, as the first judge was elevated to the Court of Appeal bench, and therefore could no longer handle the case. And then the second one had to withdraw or leave the case because Farouk had accused her of bias.
All right. So this one is no longer bias. Although it's just High Court, it will get to appeal and eventually Supreme. But I want to think, finally, I mean, it's been a long time coming since 2012.
What happens to the person who also aided and abetted the alleged, of course, bribe in 2012?
We would have to wait for the ICPC, because the ICPC is the one who initiated or instituted these court proceedings. So let's see maybe they'll go for Femi Otedola. Maybe they would say, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how this goes. It's all.
I mean, because this all accumulates into a crime against the nation from the person who had accepted or requested for the bribe, and the person who had also paid.
I can't remember the story, but let's see how this goes. I can't remember. I think there was the argument of whether Otedola did not pay or whether he paid. But if the ICP has been able to win this case, the first step, because they will still have to fight the appeals, one at the Court of Appeal and the other at the Supreme Court. Eventually, maybe, just maybe, we would see Femi Otedola drawn into the mix, because, like you said, the payee and okay, I was just trying to be a joker there, but the person who gives and the person who takes, both of them are, culpable. Not really. Anyways, back to the conversation. You can join in. Keep your calls coming in. 0817 000 0951 and 0810-951-0951. Remember, you can also join conversations on Facebook today, 95.1 FM. Drop your comments there. Let the conversation, of course, continue.
Well, just to put that in, Mr. Lawan had denied all charges against him. So apparently, we would, as you mentioned, see this case probably resurfaced in a higher court.
Who doesn't go to court of appeal?
But here is where the problem is. If evidences are not properly stated and are not properly sustained, especially if there is a need to move on to the Court of Appeal, do you see this case reaching a reasonable conclusion, especially from the former ad hoc chairman of the House of Representative ad hoc committee, and of course the person who was indicted for the oil subsidy
I think I see. I mean, right about now, I just believe, when you say former chairman, I want to believe I just want to believe. I don't want to tell you why I believe, but I just want to believe that even the Court of Appeal might not go in his favor. But it's not for me to preempt the court. But let's just see how it plays out. Let's just see how this goes. All right. 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hello, Canada. This is Hart.
All right, Hart. Welcome.
Canada is here. This country is very, very, very funny. Any president of any country, I'll say that it's the secret of a government, secret of a ruling. should not be known by the world. That is danger. That is danger. Because I don't know the reason why they should found Twitter or social media. It's not welcome. It's not welcome at all. My sense is not welcome at all, because you as a human being, you are really human being. You are not really animal. The ticket of the government must come out. The world must know. The world must know.
Okay, so what's the secret of the government? Is it on their decision on social media? Is that where you're driving to?
Like insecurity that is going on in this country. The world must know this country that's going on in this country. The world must know.
Okay. All right, Thank you very much for your contribution. 95.1 FM. Good afternoon.
Hello. Lady Wells.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Kalada. Mr. John.
You're welcome, Mr. John.
Yes, you see, I'm very happy to hear the breaking news. These are the kind of news I love hearing. They serve as a deterrent to serving political officers, those in political office today. They should know that tomorrow there is tomorrow. So they should be very careful their dealings while they are in office. Our will of justice grinds slowly, but surely justice must be served. Yes, I'm very happy.
I mean, this took quite a long time, since 2012 till 2021.
That's Nigeria for you. But the truth is that one day there will be justice.
All right then.
So then that of Twitter, I'm so surprised that people are still defending Twitter, despite even Twitter themselves have realized their mistake and have even approached the federal government for talks. Yeah, and they have even retraced their steps by deleting some of the controversial messages of.
But doesn't necessarily elevate that of the federal government as well. So how is that realized their mistake?
No, federal government is right on their stance. Even other nations have taken similar stance against Twitter. Even India, as we speak, India now is trying to regulate them. The two giants of the world, Nigeria and India, with several populations, are trying to ensure that there is regulation. And a world without regulation is a chaotic world. So I love what the FG is doing. By the end of the day, you see, friends have come to suit Twitter.
All right.
So if they are coming back, they will come back as a very disciplined child. Thank you.
All right, that's entirely your opinion there, Mr. John. 081700.
Because many people in Nigeria, imagine this, the task force boys, they will hold you, they help make sure that they collect money from you. It's not the same thing. If you imagine the amount, if you can only say you are not corrupt, when you have passed through money and did not touch money, then you say you are not corrupt. So on the issue, the marketing our country has been the problem for me, because when you post anything on social media against your country, are they marketing your country? That has been my concern. If there's any regulation, it should be good. It will affect every person. Whether you yourself, you may be there one day and face what these people are facing now. And know, if you go to Proverbs chapter 20, verse 20, says that if you curse your parents, your life will end like a lamp that goes out in the dark. And in verse 30 of it says, sometimes it takes a painful experience to make us change our ways. So I will think that we should change our ways. We should do what is right. Because whether you're a journalist or not a journalist, every person writes now.
All right then.
So let us change our ways for better.
Thank you, Grandpa, for your contribution. 95.1 FM. We lost that call. Sincerest apologies. We can still take a couple more if they come in time and everybody maintains the 2 minutes per person rule. 0817-0000951, 0810-951-0951. Hello and good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Yes. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, my name is Messengis. I'm calling you from Rumola.
You're welcome.
The issue of regulating social media. Sometimes I wonder what the kind of things that our leaders do. They were afraid of people not to post anything so that they will not divide the country. I don't know. But you're supposed to be doing the right thing. You know? If you are not doing the right thing, how can you be afraid of what people will start taking action? That is one thing that baffles me so much. You don't want people to be doing social media, showing whatever you are doing. Just stay in your way. Even if you block the social media, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. One can change things when you change your way. And people know that this our government has changed you. You see people too, they will change. You cannot tell me that I have the sitting president here. Things are going wrong. You ask me to shut up my mouth. People come and support. I'll still support things like that too. Even if Buhari is my father, I will tell him the truth.
All right then. But also looking at how social media operates here in this country, it's not just about the ruling government now, about the people as well who choose to spread falsehood as well. Don't you think that there is a need for regulation, whether it's coming from somebody who had also flaunted such directives?
Nigeria is here. We will then say they want to fight insecurity. There's some particular people they are fighting for. They really want to supposed to fight and go and fight where they're not supposed, just because they hate certain people. Are you not in this country? Are you not seeing things that are happening?
All right, then we've gotten your point. Thank you very much. 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Well.
Good afternoon, you're welcome.
Thank you. My name is Left, Right, Center, Honorable Big Ballet, all the way from Roma, Badasa. Well, stop Noko.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Don't forget to give color that one Noko.
I will share with him.
Yes, okay. First of all, I'm happy for the Farouk Lawan case. I think I followed that case from the beginning. Hotel Dollar has nothing to, that there is nothing for him. They will not him for anything because he was the one who reported the case. The bribe was initiated by Farouk Lawan, and Hotel Dollar had to involve, what do they call them, ESS, that they had to even put mark in the dollars they gave to him. So Hotel Dollar is not involved in this. Congratulations to the EFCC and our corruption fighting country. Talking about the Twitter ban. You know, in German has one parable that somebody who know how to bite person don't know how to endure bite. The federal government is just scared of accountability. That is just truth, nothing else. They are just scared that people are using this thing to attack them too much. So if you are doing something bad and people come and say you are doing this, it's not right, do it this way. Is that wrong? If you are shouting that people are using it anyhow to spread falsehood, I believe we have the laws there to caution such as you can even arrest anybody and prosecute that person. Not be so. So if people are using that, then you can, Twitter is not like Facebook. You can easily trace the person and arrest the person, take him to court, charge him for whatever charge you want to charge him with, then sentence him to prison. Than for you to say you want to ban Twitter now, you want to regulate them, you want them to be under NCC so that tomorrow now all of us will not be able to post anything. See, the truth is they are just being scared of being accountable for what they are doing. Look at what is happening in what do they call it, Benue State today. If people start reporting that, they will shout, "Oh, why are you reporting that? Oh, Twitter are liable to show dead body on their page." See, the truth, they don't want us to talk. They don't want us to say anything. Look, they are still blaming the NSAS today. What the NSAS do? Tell, okay, let us ask ourselves, what are people came out and say you must end this thing? We are suffering, these people are suffering.
But see, left, right, center. I agree with you that there are these issues of the government being biased and all, but does it not mean that we shouldn't regulate social media? Because like I said, any place where there are no regulations, then that place is going to be a madhouse, so to say.
Don't Twitter have regulation?
They do.
Good.
But the same regulations. I mean, for instance, Facebook has regulations, but Facebook was also called for what they call is it a Senate meeting? One certain Mark Zuckerberg, one certain time. Yes, in the United States, when things.
That is what we are saying. When something happens, you can call the people to order and say, "This is what you are doing," and you have to talk to them about it.
But you see now, wait, listen now. This is where the federal government is coming from. Now, for these social media companies, a lot of them are not based in Nigeria, and that is the need for regulations. And and by the way, according to Lai Mohammed, one of such regulation is that they must have, the office or an office in the country. And that's one way
so that they can be regulated as they are regulating you, Nabi.
It's fine. Okay, let's quickly listen to some other person. We've gotten your point there. No regulation. 95.1 FM. Good afternoon, Dawson.
Lady Well, greetings.
Welcome.
Yes, Kalata, the big chief.
Good afternoon to you.
The big chief. Big chief.
Calabari people have not yet given me chieftaincy title, so I don't know.
No, I will because
okay. All right then.
You are trying.
All right, thank you.
See, can you think of anything in this life that is not regulated?
Nature,
even nature, yes. Think of anything. Even nature, look at it from nature. Anything, even God, at some point, he looked at the Israelites in the wilderness and said, these people, if I carry them in. So look at what is it called now? Different travel distance between Egypt and where the Israelis are currently today. You will see that it's just something that they can walk through and get to carry them all through. But he wants them to know that by the time you get here, you will now realize that yes, somebody has something for you. You cannot keep say you are using nobody is saying don't use it. But when you use it, the other time wake up, they say the president wants to marry a new wife.
But listen, because of time, people are saying that yes, we like it if it's regulated, right? But then but then who is regulating? Because these people can be vindictive at times.
And some people have also argued that there are already regulations, by these social media platforms.
No, there are no the things I see in social media. That's why I can tell you I am not there at all. The incitement, the fake news, do you know the kind of things they are causing in this country? They're telling lies here and there, insulting people.
All right.
Do you know leaders are supposed to be respected?
All right.
That will emerge if God don't allow it. Now, people say we have laws. Social media is new. The laws that we have currently, if you use it to try somebody with a social media offense, lawyers will look for 1,001 hole to escape.
All right.
You understand? So make new regulations. You will never see me. It doesn't matter.
All right, Lawson, thank you very much. It's time for you to talk some sports, so we've got to leave the studio.
Final words, bye. All right,
keep listening to Today 95.1 FM.
All right, then.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
What a goal! Hangs it up for Ronaldo. Oh, my God!
Experience the glorious goals rush. The heated verbal jabs and even moments of madness. Experience the sensational swings, strokes and shots, the moments of victory and despair. Experience lights out on a majestic night in Singapore and a whole lot more.
On your premium talk news and sports radio station.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Listen to Sports Attack every weekday from 7:30 a.m. and Today Sports Live after the news update at 3 p.m. Stay tuned on Saturdays and Sundays for a bumper edition of Today Sports Live from 1 to 6 p.m. Experience sports in its entirety on your premium talk news and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
My name is Gianni Infantino, FIFA president. For the best of sports, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
For the best coverage of Nigeria football, always listen to Today's Sport Live on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. My name is Austin Oladapo, the captain of two-time African champion, Eyimba Football Club.
And as I enter the town, I put them for Egu, and nobody can stop. stop you. And so we dey fly past you. Over any obstacle, it be Odogu, Odogu. Say now who they draw the map, you Odogu. You are looking at the champion, Odogu. Why they just with the person with the cash, you Odogu. Aje, kekele, Odogu. Aje, kekele, Odogu.
A very good afternoon to you all out there. Welcome to the Niger Football edition of today's Sports Live, reaching you from the studios of your premium news talk and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. Emeka Dena is my name, the Odogu one of sports. I'm not alone in the building. I never walk alone. Of course, I've got the Superman, the one who doesn't leave football for snowball. Wisdom Obina in the building this afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Emeka. Good afternoon to you listening. It's a pleasure to be here to talk Nigerian football now. A lot going on in Nigeria, I tell you, from even within the state and beyond. It's great to be here to look at those issues. Like I mentioned, the MPFL, its own issues, the Super Eagles too somehow, and of course the FA Cup and preparations for the qualifications now, not just from the state. I mean, to qualify for the continent, you would need to win the ITO Cup, or at least qualify from your state to at least get to the ITO Cup, because Rivers State did take on go round. Great to be here, Mecca. Good afternoon to you.
All right, it's a loaded package, I tell you, and I will give you a sneak preview of what to expect on the show this afternoon. It was a show of shame earlier today, the Rivers State FA Cup final between Rivers United and Go Round FC, as the match ended in a very bizarre fashion. It's the question of Operation Rivers United must win, by fire, by force. It didn't go down well at all. I mean, so many fans, viewers of that match had to storm into the pitch in protest of the decision coming from the officials there. Not a good one at all. We'll tell you more about that. We have a wrap of the MPFL match, the 28 fixtures in the league, where leaders Akwa United pulled away from the chasing pack, even as Rivers United bounced back to winning ways. But the story is different in Abafo, Enyimba, who were held by visiting Nasarawa United. Goalless it ended. A result that did not go down well with the fans, who even descended on some of the players and officials, coaches of Enyimba. Not a good one at all, I tell you. And elsewhere is an all MPFL team, that has been named to face Mexico in an international friendly next month. MPFL expert Fisayo Dairo will be joining us to talk about that list, I tell you. And Samson Siasia, like you heard already, has been handed a reprieve by the Court of Arbitration for Sports, who reduced his life ban from football to just 5 years. Yes, from life ban to just 5 years. He has served 2 of those years already, and by 2024, the man will be back to coaching, God willing. And it looks like Odion Igalo is not interested to return to the Super Eagles. He says Gennaro Raw and Dama Jupinik, the NFF president, have been speaking to him. But you hear from the man himself on the show this afternoon. Also have the player and club of the week coming up. As you can see, it's a loaded package, and like you know, it is very interactive. That's the most interesting part of it. So you feel free to be part of the discussion. All you need to do is to call the phone lines when the time is due. 0807019. No, that's the text message on WhatsApp platform there. I'm not sure that one is up and running now, but in due time, we'll open the phone lines for you to have your say, to react to any of the issues we'll be raising on the show this afternoon. Don't go anywhere. The show will be right back after this timeout.
As the voice of the people, we always have you in mind. So we've got a special package for you. Hoo la la! It's a season of celebration and appreciation as we celebrate 8 solid years of relevance, 8 years of broadcasting and glorious interactions with you. Wow! So we want to say a very big thank you. It's the 8th anniversary of your premium talk, news and sports station, and we will be rewarding you for your loyal listenership. Loads of prizes to be won. Cash prizes, tickets to Kenya, Dubai, or Zanzibar. Hey! And guess what? Brand new smartphones all for you. This could just be you. And hey, don't forget to call me when you finally win. Just keep listening to Today 95.1 FM. Happy 8th anniversary to the voice of the people. We love you. Wait, don't touch that dial.
Feel the magic in the air. I love it in my all air. I
Ale, 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 feel the magic in the air. Le velema, ale, 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 ale. Feel the magic in the air.
Magic System, Red One, Shawty. Feel the magic in the air.
All right, I've been told that the SMS and WhatsApp line is up and running. So feel free to send your reactions to that number 070-1933-9962. That's 070-1933-9962 for your text and WhatsApp messages only. Later, I'll be throwing the phone lines wide open for you to have your say. Let's quickly get into the thick of the action. We'll start from the Port Harcourt City League. Earlier today, Port Harcourt Football Academy trashed NAF Skyhawk 4-0 at the ongoing Port Harcourt City League. Season 2 of that competition, as a matter of fact, Faisal Yusuf scored all 4 goals. He must be a star in the making. 4 goals scored by one team and all 4 goals from one man. Faisal Yusuf of Port Harcourt Football Academy. They are coached by an Italian, as a matter of fact, and we'll be hearing from the team later tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, before we even came into the studio, Friends Club were leading D-Line United in the second match by 1-0. Let's see if we have confirmation of that as a result. But of course, that was the scoreline before we came into the studio. Superman, impressive one there for Port Harcourt Football Academy, former Abuja Football College.
Yes, very impressive, you want to say. And you just talked about one player. And that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see the talents. We want to see the players that would move on to do greater things. I think the biggest goal of this competition should be to push out those talents and shun those talents, not just for the national team or for the MPFL rather, but even for continental and international clubs.
All right, like I said, the second match of the day was ongoing before we came into the studio. Friends United were leading 1-0 at the time, but D-Line United, the good news for them is that they equalized and that match ended in a 1-1 draw. That was the second match between Friends United and D-Line United. That one ending in a 1-1 draw right there. Ome Ero got the goal for Friends United, while Gospel Chinda did equalize for D-Line United. One more match to come your way later today as far as the Port Harcourt City League is concerned. Rivers State University, I think they are called the Dolphins. Yes, they play later this afternoon against okay, let me confirm their opponents. Sorry about that. Okay, of course, they will be playing in the last match of today against Salvation Boys. Yes, Salvation Boys. Very interesting fixture. In fact, the match is underway already, from the updates coming through, and we've seen no fewer than 10 minutes of action already in that encounter. It's goalless. Early days yet. Right there between River State University Dolphins and of course Salvation Boys. River State University Dolphins have former Yimba Rangers man Sam Ledo as their player and coach. So we'll see how that one pans out eventually. But in the meantime, that's what it is. As far as the Port Harcourt City League is concerned, let's go to the River State FA Cup, and we can report that Rivers United defeated Go Round FC 5-4 via penalties after regulation time ended 1-1 to claim the River State FA Cup title in a very controversial and chaotic final decided at the Shark Stadium earlier today. Ghanaian import Paul Aqua put Stanley Guma's side in front after just 7 minutes, but Prince Chinda leveled scores for Ngozi Lechi's men 12 minutes before the break, slotting home from a goal match scramble. The second half failed to produce any goal, and both teams had to settle for the lottery of penalties to decide the winner. After missing the deciding spot kick, Shedrack Ogali was asked to retake the penalty after the Goran goalkeeper was adjudged to have left his line before the initial kick. And it took another 30 minutes to even come back to take that final spot kick, because we understand that fans invaded the pitch. At the end of the day, there was chaos everywhere. Superman, you've seen videos of, pictures of what happened there, videos of what happened at the Shark Stadium earlier today. Very, very bizarre scene. It looked like what happened when Canopilas, as it was Canopilas and Rangers at the Super 16 up in Lagos.
In Lagos.
Where Rabiu Ali, incited fans
exactly.
and the match ended in chaos and what have you and all. It looked exactly like that. But before we talk about what happened there, let's quickly hear from Ngozi Elechi of Go Round FCS, the head coach of Go Round, Ngozi Elechi.
Yeah, at the end, honestly, as I told you earlier on, I commend my boys for what they are putting on today. They shows that their position in the log now of claiming to be an MPFA was not a waste. And today, I want to tell people in River State that it's not what they think. You understand? Let them watch well, because if this can happen, you are now bringing a conflict between the two teams anytime they play, and which is uncalled for. So they should be mindful of how they raise flag or how they do something. I'm not supposed to enter there for the first place. But when I saw the first incident, the last man raised flag when my boss want to play. But when the first want to play, he will not raise flag. If I goalkeeper want to catch a penalty, he will not raise flag. Twice, I go and complain to central referee. Why this man raising flag? Twice. The second one, everybody saw it and clear ball over the bar. And he said the goalkeeper shake ball because of people that are surrounding them. But it's not good like that. So why I'm telling them now is that, one, let them not continue to do this. You understand? Because if they do this, there is a way that will look, let it not be, it's a one-sided side. You understand? Let somebody work for what he deserves to, and that's my opinion.
All right, that was Ngozi Elechi of Koran FC. He doesn't hold back anything. I mean, he says it as it is. He speaks from his heart. Let's also hear from the assistant coach of Rivers United, chief coach, as a matter of fact, Ndubisi Ndoka. Ngozi, what's his name now? Eguma is yet to resume duties after what happened to him the other time. But let's hear from Ndubisi Ndoka what he had to say after the encounter.
Normally, any FA Cup finals at any level, it's always a very tight match. And moreover, Go Round has been playing the finals in River State for several times. So it's a terrain they are very used to. We expected it. And if you remember that we just played a very tough match on Sunday, we never trained and we came for this match while they were preparing, waiting for us, So I expected it this way. Okay, guys.
All right, that was Ndubisi Ndoka, the chief coach of Rivers United, speaking after the match. Earlier, you heard from the coach of Go Round FC, Ngozi Elechi. Superman, we were not there, but we've heard from people who were there. I've heard from journalist colleagues who were there, and the story. In fact, we saw a video, so we can even assume that at least, let's even talk about the video we saw. It was very, very chaotic, and what resulted to that one, it's not something we should encourage or embrace as far as football is concerned. It's not a must-win encounter. Is it a must-win encounter? Must it be always Rivers United going to represent the state?
Emeka, in Nigeria, most times for states, because it's state-run team, basically. I know Go Round is a private team, but for the state, they most times would always want to send the team they feel is
stronger.
Their best team, to the national event, because reasons being that they always feel if we send this team that are not exactly
but those are wrong reasons, because
exactly,
even Rivers United when they were Dolphins, they won the FA Cup, the Challenge Cup back then from the second division.
It kills the objectivity.
From the second division, like we have Go Round in the second division now. They won the national Challenge Cup from the second division.
Birmingham were on their way down when they won the FA Cup. We can even talk about some teams who have made it to FA Cup semi-finals, and we saw Box to Box FC at some seasons ago push and go really very far, in I think the quarterfinals or so in this tournament. So I think it's just the notion, and we could go down to point the factors that could be the reason, but I think it is wrong. It is uncalled for. It is a very, very wrong way to portray competition, because it is supposed to be competitive, and competition rewards a particular set of people who perform well.
All right, let's quickly go to the phone lines, and of course we've got the one and only Ival Edu. Yes, the midfield maestro. He was live at the Shark Stadium earlier today to witness that show of shame, in quote, I told you about the FA Cup final between Rivers United and Go Round FC. The midfield maestro, good to have you on the show this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be on today's Sport Live.
All right, the Mystery Maestro. Without further ado, let's go to the thick of the action there. I saw the video of what transpired there, how the fans invaded the pitch and at some point and all that. Please talk us through what really transpired in the encounter today between Rivers United and Goran that descended into that show of shame and the subsequent penalty brouhaha.
As expected, a very keenly contested game. Both sides out to play. Rivers United drew first blood quite early. Go round got into the game, and from then on, it was fight to the finish for both sides. And they couldn't be separated after regulation time. And the game went into penalties. Go round lost their first penalty. Rivers United were banging in the balls into the back of the net. Second spot kick, third spot kick, and I could see the assistant referee's flag go up when goalkeeper Chizoba tries to save or is on flight to save the ball, and the ball hefts into the back of the net. And I asked the question, why is he taking the flag up? Because if this ball is finally missed and the flag stays up, it becomes controversial. So in those two occasions, the center referee overlooks the flag that was up. And in that instance, I could see Coach Ngozi towards the back of the pitch and started to engage the center referee and the assistant referee in an argument. Before the fifth penalty was even, we had that particular small issue, take place. And in the fifth and deciding penalty, Shedrack Ogali stepped forward and hit the ball over the crossbar. And the assistant referee's flag went up that Chizoba, the goalkeeper, had moved out of line. We couldn't see it from where we sat because we don't have
there's no VAR, there's no television either to actually see if that was actually the case. Yes.
Definitely. So we couldn't see it from where we were. And it is not the center referee's call to make. It is assistant referee who's just standing by the line. Calls to make. So he made that call, and I think sympathizers of Go Round FC didn't take that easy with him, and they ran onto the field of play and mild handled him. So 30 minutes plus, and we're still struggling to get the game back. And when the game actually came back, it was Shedrack Ogali with a spot kick to be retaken, and this time around he made no mistake to put it to the back of the net. And at the end of the day, you could hear Coach Ngozi Lechi's post-match reaction. He was not really happy. He crossed his heart and told us everything he had to say. And whether we like it or not, we've seen where teams have been selected to be representatives of states. We've seen where teams have even been had the opportunity, like we have in Ebonyi State, of representing the state. For us that had the opportunity of playing an FA Cup, I think this controversial moment really puts a dent to the effort of the FA.
The midfield maestro, I'm putting you on the spot right away. I've been in this state for a long time, and if you ask people who have also followed the game here domestically, they will also tell you that something like this has played out several in the past. From what you saw today, do you suspect any attempt by the organizers to make sure Rivers United go through to represent the state in the ITO Cup final?
Well, it's very hard to call because maybe the assistant referee got it right with the flag going up. But on the other hand, we've seen where teams have been picked, and we've seen the controversy already rocking football at this point in time. Rivers United is the biggest in the land. So why not? Wouldn't the FA love to see their biggest team represent them in the ITO Cup in the main draw? I don't really feel maybe they had a hand in this one. I just feel maybe the calls didn't go the way of Go Round FC. But anything is possible as far as football is concerned. But I can't really place my finger on if it was the call of the FA to have Rivers United represent them or Go Round FC.
Unfortunately, we also understand from what you said that the center referee was manhandled in the process.
Yeah, the center referee, the assistant referee. I think the assistant referee in question was the man who was running away from the punches and some of the, the onrushing fans who wanted to, take it
It's laughable, but of course, it's very, very shameful and condemnable. I'm looking at that video, and it's very, very bizarre. This is not what we want to show to the world that is happening here in Nigeria.
Definitely, and I think there was a time where the players of both teams also had to engage themselves in a free-for-all fight. So it was all encompassing from the bench of both sides. Yes.
Eva, where was the COVID-19 protocol and playing behind those guys?
we are not serious.
The COVID-19 protocol. Well, we washed our hands when we came into the stadium.
And started fighting each other in the stadium.
And we all forgot after that. So the COVID-19 was in the mud at this point in time where we had this particular incident. But maybe we should be thankful for the low number of cases we have in Rivers State and possibly in Nigeria. We are not like the US and Brazil and India suffering. But we threw caution to the wind, and we remember about COVID-19 in the stadium.
I hope you did not receive any blow in the process.
I was sitting in the stands.
It's okay. Thank you so much, Dimitri Maestro, for joining us on the show this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Pleasure is all mine.
All right. Superman, very, very shameful since earlier today. I mean, this is not the way to go if our football must grow. We talk about this all the time. It's not the 10th time it's happening here in River State alone.
Well, Emeka, we need to sit down consciously and first, because there are two sides to this matter. One is the fact that maybe, possibly, it is possible that some people want Rivers United to get through. On the other side is fans always getting into stadiums, and it's always like if calls don't go your way. I mean, referees make real big mistakes.
It's looking like a pattern now. No, during the first round of the premier round of the CAF Confederation Cup, Rivers United versus Fuchoro Kings. The goalkeeper was always coming out to, stop the penalties of Fuchoro Kings here in Port Harcourt during the shootout.
Yeah.
Nobody raised any flag here. Because it was Rivers United. I don't understand. But come on, this is not good for our football. If you must win fair and square.
No, Emeka, it is true, and that's what I'm saying. That
how are the fans still getting into the stadiums these days? In Aba, they beat up the Yimba players and officials.
And we can talk about the one that also happened in the north.
Yes.
We see these things in England. Like I was giving an example. Most times, calls, even we that are watching on TV from here, would see that some of these calls are not really necessary, but they let it go and the referee will be charged after the game, but on the other side, it doesn't mean that you should take the fans for granted and, perpetrate some of these acts that are beyond football.
Even the fans themselves should not take the laws into their hands. They have no business
it's a two-way thing.
Invading the pitch, beating up officials and all that. No, they shouldn't do that. No matter how bad the officiating is. Yes, we understand it's an emotional game, where you sometimes lose your cool, want to react angrily and all that, but don't go to the extent of invading the pitch and beating up match officials. That is not good for the image of the game at all. It doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change anything.
Have won,
yes.
They will go to the ITO Cup.
It just destroys the reputation.
But it's just about even the players, the referees. Where is our conscience when we take all those bizarre decisions that are obviously biased towards a particular team?
Emeka, you want the truth? Poverty has seared the conscience of a lot of people.
No, that's not good at all. Let's move on the show. Let's move on. We have good news coming in from England, where Super Eagles French striker Emmanuel Dennis has joined Premier League newcomers Watford from Belgian Club Brugge after both sides reached an agreement over the transfer of the Nigerian. Watford made an announcement in a statement released on their official website. The newly promoted club stated they are finalizing personal terms with the 23-year-old. Dennis joined Club Brugge in 2017 and spent the latter part of the 2020/21 season on loan at Cologne in Germany. A Watford statement read, and I quote, "An agreement with Club Brugge has been reached for the transfer of exciting young forward Emmanuel Dennis. Watford FC is delighted to confirm. A scorer of 27 goals in just over 90 club appearances for Brugge. He has featured in both the UEFA Champions League and UEFA Europa League. The Hornets are currently finalizing personal terms with the pacey striker, capped twice by Nigeria so far, who began his professional career with some experience as a teenager in the Ukrainian Premier League side, Zoya Luhansk. Of course, we remember those 2 goals he scored against Real Madrid.
Yeah, it was him.
Yes, and when he was with the Brugge. They had in Spain, actually, in the Champions League. That was in the group stage last season. Yes,
in the group stage, yes.
Group stage, yeah. But they eventually drew that match 2-2 or so. But
it ended 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2. So good one for this man moving over to Watford. What do you make of that move?
Well, it's actually not the expected move if you followed him from
Arsenal
when he was much
him
younger.
At some point.
Yes, at some point in his life, Emeka, you'll be shocked. Man City also wanted him. That was when he joined Zorya, the first season he played with Zorya, where Man City also scouted him and wanted, but somehow he stayed over, before moving to Club Brugge. And since then, scouts have been watching him. So we're not expecting him to go to a newly promoted Watford, maybe something bigger.
But at the level,
at the level where he is now, Watford is not too big because he want to say he had a failed spell in Cologne, 9 matches, no goal.
No, that's 1 goal.
Okay,
in 10
goal
matches,
in 10 games. Okay, I know as part some 9 games he didn't get any goal. So moving on to Watford, when you're not needed at Club Brugge because of attitudinal issues and of course lack of understanding between him and the management, I think it would be a good one. There's a family waiting for him at Watford.
Yes, Alec Trustekong and Isaac Success are already. I think Tom Dele Bashiru
is there. Then
player.
there is this Humbug young man, this younger player who has not featured for the Super Eagles yet, but very young, 19-year-old or so.
All right. Another good news: the Court of Arbitration for Sports yesterday reduced the live ban imposed on former Nigeria coach Samson Siasia by FIFA in a match fixing case to 5 years. FIFA had wielded the big stick on Siasia 2 years ago after investigations revealed that he had links in the past to the notorious Singaporean match fixer Wilson Perunal. Now, the live ban was to keep Siasia away from all football-related activities, administrative, sports, or any other at both national and international levels. The former non-attacking midfielder was also fined over £40,000, which is about 50,000 Swiss francs. Now, the former Super Eagles star and coach always maintained that he was innocent of all the charges. And yesterday, CAS, the number one institution involved in resolving legal disputes in the field of play, ruled that a live ban for Samson Siasia was, in quote, disproportionate for a passive offense that did not earn him any money. The CAS judges ruled that the imposition of a live ban to be disproportionate for a first offense which was committed passively and which had not had any adverse or immediate direct effect on football stakeholders. And a FIFA fine of 50,000 Swiss francs was also overturned. Now, Siasia will be able to return to football administration and management when his ban expires in August 2024. Siasia must be a very happy man right now. I chatted with him earlier today, and of course, he was in a very happy mood.
Yes, and I must say it's also good for Nigeria. The image of the country is one of the best coaches we've had in this country from the youth ranks. We can't forget 2005. Let's even forget his playing days too, where he really did well to go for the national team, and then with the under-23, where he led us to you want to say good medals
in the Olympics. Bronze medal.
Yes.
Gold and silver for Nigeria.
Very true.
2008 silver, 2016 bronze.
Yes,
in football.
So you want to look at that. Some people were even saying he is the real man for the Super Eagles job. He had a chance, but was playing fine football. But
no results.
Yes, the result
couldn't qualify for major tournaments.
Exactly. So he was let go. So I think it's good for the man. I'm happy for him. I don't know how much support Nigeria gave to him, Emeka. Because
we heard unconfirmed that the likes of Odion Igalo did help in terms of, because to even file a case at CAS they were looking at close to $100,000 to even file that case.
And I think some of these bodies who actually make some of these judgments, they should also be very careful. So if he couldn't raise this money, that's how his career would have been over. His image would be seared for life.
Thank God for CAS, to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. His career would have also been over if there was no CAS judgment.
Absolutely, and you can imagine
FIFA practically ended his career.
Yes, a man who is already 53 this year. I'm even thinking the 2024 it should maybe be 55 or 56 or something. And you're looking at a live ban for the man, totally thrown out of the game. One of the finest minds in the game. At some point, we're even hearing maybe rumors anyway. Bolting, we're interested in dragging him in or something like
Superman,
that.
From the new development, he will return to coaching in 2024, God willing. Now, it's not as if there's a job waiting for him there. Going by what has happened. Now, CAS did not say he did not commit the offense. He did actually commit, but
he didn't get anything.
They said the offense. No,
the punishment.
The punishment is too heavy for the offense he committed and all that. Do you think any club or country would want to even hire him again?
Yeah, I think he would have to start from the ground up. The MPFL might be one place to start. I know you didn't have a very nice time with Heartland, but MPFL might be a good place to start up. But I think Siasia has it. It's just like Salisu Yusuf. We know he had his own issues now, but it doesn't take away the brilliance from the man. So I do believe that
he will get the job.
He will get the job. The question is, the question is what level. But I'm even thinking, Emeka, I would be happy if I have Siasia get another shot with the Super Eagles than allowing them to trust stay for another year.
A third time for Siasia. Okay, let's quickly go to, I think it's the newsroom now to get you the news in 60, and after which more will be coming to you on the show. Odion Igalo is talking. We'll still be talking about the MPFL, what happened over the weekend, not forgetting the Super Eagles list that will face Mexico. It's an all home-based list.
Today's news in 60.
River State Governor Nyesom Wike has assented to 2 bills passed into law by the State House of Assembly to enhance access to quality health care and enable government to fulfill contractual obligations. The bills signed into law by the governor include Public Procurement Amendment Law Number 1 of 2021 and Contributory Health Protection Program Law Number 3 of 2020. The Executive Director, Sickle Cell Disease Eradication Initiative, Aliyu Usman, has expressed concern about the current 32.6% prevalence rate of sickle cell in Yobe State. On the foreign scene, companies like Moderna and Pfizer's partner Bios to make vaccines that they hope will help prevent cancer. The companies are already conducting clinical trials with the same mRNA technology. In 60.
No matter the stage, there's still room for greatness. No matter the stage, there's a bit of greatness in it.
All right, welcome back. It's still Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. Okay, let's quickly let you know that Odion Ighalo, yes, a former Nigeria striker, he says he is not thinking about returning to the senior national team, even though Coach Gernot Rohr and NFF President Amaju Pinnick have both spoken to him about the possibility of the coming out of international retirement. Now, the former Manchester United and Watford striker emerged as the highest goal scorer in the qualifiers for the 2019 AFCON before firing the Super Eagles to a third-place finish in the tournament in Egypt, scooping the top scorers award in the process. Shortly after the tournament ended for Nigeria, Ighalo announced his international retirement. But there have been calls to bring him back to the team. Here is Ighalo speaking about that subject.
Well, me and the coach have been in contact, even Amaju and all that. They want me back, but like I said, I did my best with the national team. Now it's for me to give the younger boys chance to continue from where we stop. I don't see the need for me to come back, but Nigeria is my country. You never can say never. If they need me badly, whatever, and all that, I can only think about it and talk to those, my family member, and decide what to do. But for now, I just want the young boy to carry on doing it.
All right, the choice was there from Odion Jude Ighalo. He doesn't think there is need for him to come back. But Nigeria is his country. They want him so badly, you never can tell. You can't say no to Nigeria. But from the look of things, it looks like Ighalo is not keen about a possible return to the Super Eagles, Superman.
Well, that was exactly the statement he made. I mean, the last statement he made, that you can't say no to your national team. I think, but the thing is, he's listening to some people. Like even the man who was interviewing was saying his own opinion is that he shouldn't return. So Ighalo is trying to get the fact, because the handwritings are all over the wall. The truth is, we have players that are coming up. Now, these players some of them are better than what Ighalo was at Watford. Ighalo just had a brilliant time with the Super Eagles, after he was almost done and dusted with his career. And somehow, it was just the last 2-3 years of his career with the national team that he picked it up to the level where it is now. So I think I would agree with him. If he's not keen to return, it is smart. It's better you still stay on a high, because we have these very young boys who are doing brilliantly well for themselves in their club sides. So if they come to the national team and they don't replicate, and you come in with all these big expectations, you might be setting yourself up to fail. So it's always better to keep it on the high and continue. But I would not be shocked if he returns. Like he mentioned, if Amaju is talking to him, Roy is talking to him, I won't be shocked if we qualify for the Nations Cup and they run back to him, because most times people are tied to a formula that has worked for them in the past.
And for the final time, is Ighalo still needed in the Super Eagles the way things stand right now?
Well, Emeka, I am of the opinion that he's not needed. I know people will talk about experience, but you have 25-year-olds, you have 26-year-olds, you have players who will be 26 at the end of this year. So which other experience are you looking for? How old is Harry Kane? 27. How old is Marcus Rashford? You can even call players in Spain, that are doing well for themselves. Even the Moratas of this world. How old are these players? What kind of experience do we have? We have a player who have played for Man City. We have a player who have played in the Champions League quarterfinal. We have a player who has played in Italy. We have players who have played at different tournaments and even won FA Cups. So what kind of experience again?
A lot of these players have also featured at the World Cup.
Very true. I've also played in the Nations Cup. So I think the experience we have for the level of the Super Eagles, I think it's just okay for us to continue. The only thing is, how do we bring out the best in these players? But you have 5 to 6 strikers doing well enough. Some players are not even getting opportunities at this moment. Terry Murphy, what he's doing in France was what Osimhen did this season before, but he's not exactly getting the same opportunity Osimhen got.
All right, still staying with the Super Eagles. We understand that goalkeepers John Noble and Ikechukwu Ezenwa, as well as forward, and now will top the list of 25 players invited to camp for next month's international friendly match between Nigeria and Mexico at the famous Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in the state of California, out there in the United States of America. Three-time African champions Nigeria will clash with the CONCACAF Gold Cup holders Mexico on Saturday, 3rd July, in what is part of the Mexicans Mex Tour series that will see them play 3 matches before clashing with Nigeria. Also invited are Rivers United defender Ifeanyi Nemena, midfielder Dayo Ojo, and forwards Ibrahim Olaoyin of Rangers International and Stephen Jude of Kwara United. Let's look at the full list of players. But before we do so, let's let you know that the players are expected to report to camp today. Yes, at the Serap Legacy Hotel in Wuye, Abuja. They're expected to report to camp today. Only 22 of the 25 players will travel to the United States for the Glamour Friendly. So it means 3 players will be dropped eventually. The goalkeepers are Ikechukwu Ezenwa, John Noble of Enyimba. Defenders are Olisanda of Akwa United, Adekunle Adeleke of Abia Warriors, Tokpe Lucesi of Rangers, Ifeanyi Nemena of Rivers United, Christopher Nweze of Kwara United, Eyinaya Kazie of Rivers United, Mohamed Zeki Filu of Plateau United, and of course we have Imo Obot of Enyimba, Tebo Franklin of Nasarawa United, Lawale Uriyomi Moritala of Kwara United. The midfielders are Anthony Shimaga, wonderful midfielder, I tell you. He plays for Rangers International, Seth Maye of Akwa United, Uche Onwasanya of Plateau United. We have Samuel Noshri of Katsina United and Dayo Ojo of Enyimba. The forwards are Anayo Iwala of Enyimba, Stephen Jude, Kwara United, Ibrahim Olaoyin of Rangers International, Charles Ashimene of Akwa United, Chinonso Ezekwe of Rangers, Awalu Ali Malam of Kanu Pillars, Nerot Emmanuel of Plateau United, and of course Abdul Mutalifu of Sanusi of Katsina United make up the list of players right there. 25 of them Superman. I don't know. Very, very controversial list. A lot has been said about this list. Very soon we'll be joining Fisayo Dairo, the MPFL expert, to talk more about it. But what do you make of this list? An all home-based list. Some say the list did not even come from Gennaro Raw.
Yeah, the good thing is that home-based players,
and if you look at the release sent out by NFF, they didn't say Raw invited these players. Formally, they will say Raw names this, that. They didn't say Raw. Like I read it out there. That was how it came from the NFF. They didn't say the list was from Raw, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who it comes from.
Well, there are even bigger rumors now that it might not be Raw that will be coaching the team. That it will be Austin Eguavon. Okay, and that's another discussion too on its own. And we are even asking where's Joseph Yobo. But in its entirety, I think first it's a good thing that we are getting the MPFL players to get a chance to play. But the truth is, what we wanted was a blend of the MPFL players and our foreign pros.
This is not our 18.
Yes, because exactly. I know when the going gets tough, we still drop all these guys and bring in the players we expect to give us the goods or deliver the goods.
We have the Nigerian football expert, the one and only Fisayo Dairo, chief football reporter of ACSports.com, joining us on the show this afternoon. Fisco, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Sports Live. It's like you're in a noisy environment.
A very good afternoon to you, Odogu, and good afternoon to everyone out there in the studio. It's my pleasure joining you today.
All right, Fisco, let's go straight to the thick of the action. What do you know about the origin of this list? There are doubts if it actually came from the head coach of the Super Eagles, Gennaro Raw.
Well, I think without a doubt, this did not come from Gennaro Raw. Because also, to all intents and purposes,
he has never done this before, yes.
Yes, it doesn't seem as though Gennaro will even be in charge of the boys.
when they played the game in Mexico. So we all know that General knows little and nothing about home-based players. So definitely, this is not his handiwork. The question now is who compiled the list? Ordinarily, Joseph Yobo, who had replaced first Salisu Yusuf and then Imama Ababakabo as the assistant coach of Super Eagles, ordinarily should be the one in charge. But we know that the NFF technical committee, headed by both the technical director, Austin Oguavoin, and Tola Ibogo, were saddled with the responsibility of getting the best players from the local league to convert for this particular game. So I think that should answer your question.
And if they are resuming camp today, of course, from the reports we have from the NFF, they are supposed to report in Abuja today for camping ahead of the match on the 3rd of July. Are we saying that Guavon and Aibogun will also be overseeing the team?
Yes, I think that's the most likely thing, that these guys will be in charge. They're talking about Guavon and Aibogun, because a lot of noise has been made about the disappearance in the past couple of years. But they've not had the first training session anyway. I know that up to players are now in Abuja as we speak. The two Rivers United players, Ifan Emena and Kazina, yes, they are in Abuja already. The 4 invited Rangers international players are in Abuja already. The Plateau United winger, midfielder Uche Uwasoraya is in Abuja, and so on and so forth. Also the Kwara United contingent as well. All 4 of them, they are there. They have not trained at all. But by the time they have maybe the first team meeting this evening, we will know who will address. But it seems as though that it will most definitely be Iguavan and Aigogo that will be in charge of this team.
All right, Fisco, to the list proper. I don't think there's any player in that list that you have not seen play football at least once in the MPFL. Would you say these guys that are invited deserve their invitation?
Not totally so. Many times we have a list. Even in the most senior crimes of the world, there is this cliche that there is no perfect list. But the question now goes to how perfect is the list. We don't want a 100% perfect list. We know we can't get a 100% perfect list, but the question is how perfect is the list. If you achieve 90% perfection, fantastic. If you achieve 85% perfection, brilliant. But I think this list is just about 55% or 60% perfect. But to start with, let me just clarify something. One main flaw that came about with this list is the fact that this list has been released for the past 3 weeks. The players have been invited for the past 3 weeks.
And the press release only came out 2 days ago or so.
Yeah, only came out on Sunday night. So, I'm telling you, 3 weeks is a long time in football, if you ask me. Because within the past 3 weeks that this list was released, we've had 5 more Premier League games, and that's staggering. So some of these players, maybe at that time, perhaps they were in good form. Maybe at that time they were playing more than they were. For instance, someone like Austin Oladapo was still injured at that 3 weeks ago. Although I heard that he was even in the original list of 35 players penciled down for this, he, Olisema and the likes. But again, each team cannot have more than 4 players in the team, because there is a clause in the rules and film condemning to that any club that has 5 players on
can ask for the postponement of their league games.
So that's why you see 4 players from Imba, 4 from Rangers, 4 from Kwara United, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the background stuff. But again, there are different names that are suspects that shouldn't be anywhere near the team. If you say Nello Silas, he has barely played 300 minutes of football this season. If you say Uche Uwasoraya, of course, I said the list was released like when the last 5 matches, but he hasn't played any of the last 3 matches. And if you said Dario, yes, but again, he was playing the continent another time at least. He was playing there and there for him. And we also heard that Austin Iguavan said, since he was a player, he knows very well was playing for Enyimba at the time. Oladapo was injured. So if you start analyzing my basic problem is has not been addressed by many people. My basic problem is that just like the list we always have from Golotrol, it's an imperfect list. It's an imbalanced list. What do I call an imbalanced list? We have 5 centre backs in that list. It's too much.
For just one match.
We have 5 centre backs, 3 right backs, 2 left backs. Okay, 2 left backs. Okay, maybe 2 right backs. Okay, you don't need play. You have 5 centre backs and midfielders for 2 or 3 positions. You have just 5 of them. You should be having up to 7 or 8.
But you know that the list will also be prone down to 22 at some point.
Yes, you don't have just 3 players. Now, we have Tony Sinaga in that team as the only defensive midfielder, which is you figured an automatic transfer in. Are you getting it? Now, you have like 5 or 6 wingers. You have Anawe Wala, you have Ibrahim Olaweni, you have Awali Ali Malam, you have Uche Wasenaya. I don't have the list of what I mean, but I'm just saying it for the top of my too many players concentrated in one position, and that's what Gennaro does his thing, basically. The field is super good listing. So I think that's one thing they did not address well. They could have easily said, since you are inviting 25 players, 2 players per position, which means 2 right backs, 2 left backs, 2 centre backs, 2 TNs, 2.
Game itself, do you think it will be a good test for the MPFS stars? See if you can do this in less than 1 minute. We are running out of time.
Okay. Yeah, I think it should be, because it's an opportunity for them. It's going to be in Latin America. A lot of them have never been outside Africa before. Now they will be in America. A lot of them, I think 90% of them have never been to the America. And it's going to be against a few strength Mexican side. And it's always going to be a good test for you to sell yourself. That's the only thing I've done for NFL players at this time. And I've spoken with a number of them. They are willing to grab it with their full hands.
MPFL/Nigerian football expert Fisayo Dairo, chief football reporter, talking about ACLsports.com. Good to have you on the show this afternoon.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for your expert analysis. We appreciate you a whole lot, Fisayo. Thank you so much. Superman, quickly, let's run to the MPFL. Time not our friend any longer. Let's quickly do this very fast. Of course, you heard from Fisayo Dairo there about the list. I'm sure we'll still try to talk to him in the coming days. But in the meantime, let's go to what happened on the field of play at the weekend. Started with Akwa United securing a 2-0 victory over Adamawa United. Charles Ashimene and the veteran Mfon Odo with the goals there for the promise keepers to consolidate their leadership on top of the table. Dakar FC, we are forced a 1-0 draw by visiting Rangers right there in New York on Sunday. And of course, the Enyimba could not score against National United. That one ended goalless right there in Aba. FC Ifeanyi defeated Heartland 2-1. Jigawa Golden Stars stunned Kano Pillars 1-0. Lobby Stars were 2-0 winners over Kwara United. Plateau United 2-0 winners over Warriors. And of course, Rivers United peeped Katsina United 1-0 to bounce back to winning ways. Sunshine Stars 2-1 winners over Abia Warriors. And after match day 20, this is what the table looks like. Akwa United top of the table with 53 points. 4 points clear of National United, who are now in second position. Kano Pillars are third with an inferior goals difference, and Rivers United are now fourth with 48 points. Kwara United occupy the fifth spot with 46 points. Enyimba assist with 45 points with 2 games in hand. Bottom 4 is Warriors 19th on the log, right there at Kano. And of course, Rivers United celebrating Eguma's release from the abductors with a win at home against Katsina United. The struggle continues for Enyimba.
Yeah, the struggle continues for Enyimba, and Rivers United still managed to get all 3 points in the absence of their coach, even though, yes, he's been released. Kano Pillars themselves, I mean, that was a surprise for me. I expected them to get at least a point, even if I know it's a Northern Derby against a JGS side. They should have been able to get something. But for Akwa United, Emeka, I am almost convinced that they will be in the continent this season.
You're not convinced they will win the league?
Emeka, when it comes to the league and relegation in the MPFL, I am very careful. I don't rush into conclusions.
It is not over until it's all over.
Yeah, if anybody, as much as people are complaining about Enyimba, they are still among the top 7 teams in the MPFL. They should probably fall down a little bit before you start killing them. They still have outstanding matches to play. And, we've seen Kwara United stay on top for some time. Maybe this is the merry-go-round and this is the turn for Akwa. So it will be too early for me. But I think they would be on the continent. It would take something out of the ordinary for the Akwa United side, knowing that we just have 10 match days left, to not make it to the continent. But for now, kudos must go to Kennedy Boboye, the likes of Charles Ashimene, who have been doing brilliantly well. They're not even feeling the absence of Ndifrek Effiong, who has left the country, the shores of the country now for Al-Ali Benghazi. Kudos must go to them, Emeka.
All right, it's time to unveil our player and club of the week. A player of the week will go to Kala Ali of Jigawa Golden Stars. There, he's called the only goal last the
80th minute.
Yes, the beat 4-time champions Kano Pillars, a high-flying Kano Pillars by a goal to nothing. And the club of the week will be Nasarawa United, who went to Aba, saw and almost conquered Enyimba. He ended goalless right there at the Enyimba International Stadium. So kudos to Kala Ali of Jigawa Golden Stars and Nasarawa United, because they are our player and club of the week.
Indestructible, super eagles, your victory, Papa God. That's it.
All right, it's time to go to the phone lines now to hear from you. Of course, a lot has been said already on the show this afternoon. From the domestic scene here, where it was a show of shame between Rivers United and Goran FC, pitch invasion, controversy over the officiating and what have you, penalty shootout, brouhaha, and all that. Samson Siasia getting his life ban reduced to 5 years by the Court of Arbitration for Sports. Ojon Igalo telling us he's not interested in coming back to the Super Eagles there. And of course, the MPFL actions across various centers, not forgetting the controversial 25-man list there. All home-based players to face Mexico next month in an international friendly. 0817 0000951 0810 9510951. Keep those calls coming. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello. Simon from Romo Dumaya. Let's hear you. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Superman, I agree.
I agree with you, Simon.
Let me start by, I was very, very, very happy when I heard the news concerning Siapia, the punishment reduced. Because people like us that love Siapia, when this news broke out, I think 2 years ago, I was very, very, very angry. But I thank God, I have already passed 2 years now, remaining 3 years, 2024, the show will finish. Now, concerning Rivers AC, if all these state refs, I told somebody before, if you like, play this match up to 10 times, Rivers either will still win. Instead of Rivers side will not win, I will not say heaven will fall, but everybody knows what I mean by that.
All right. Let's leave it there, Simon, so we can hear from others too. Sorry about that. Let's go to another caller. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Today's Sports Live.
I'm Gabriel calling from Rumibo.
Gabriel from Rumibo, have your say.
Please, I don't want to say much. Nigeria should just sack Ganaro. I don't want him.
What did he do again now? What did he do this time?
In fact, the man, I don't just like him.
Okay, as according to you. Thank you so much. Let's go to another caller. Hello.
Mega.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Today's Sports Live.
Anthony coming from Omok.
Anthony from Omok. Let's hear you, my brother.
Shame on Nigerian Football Federation. Shame on Amaju Pinnick. If they start Genetro, Nigeria will go back to those days when we are counting who to win and who to lose. That man has been good since we employed him, but this is where they recruit him. Shame on them. Shame on Nigerian Football Association.
Okay. Let's go to the next caller. Hello. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Today's Sports Live. Tell us your name and your location.
I greet you, Superman.
I greet you.
Of love from Aba.
Welcome.
Emeka, I looked for you yesterday. I didn't see you.
I know that.
Well, they say you are
you beat up Enyimba players because they play draw with the Nasarawa United.
It's a shame.
You people, I'm ashamed of you people.
No. You see, I'm not part of that, and I will never support violence. see that as it may. Nigerian Stars will let partner surely, but he has lost everything. If anybody continue like this, I don't think anybody will finish in top 7.
All right. Thank you so much for making your point. Superman, let's go to the text message and WhatsApp
Starting from
platforms.
the WhatsApp portal. Good afternoon to you, Emeka, and greetings to you, Superman. I think from the sound bites you just played, Go Round FC were robbed. The assistant manager of Rivers United is sounding like someone who has achieved his aim after giving out a bribe from Slim Basio. This one says, wonderful afternoon to you, Doguwan and Superman. It's Kosi from Abuja. First of all, this is one of the numerous problems we have with our leagues, not protecting our footballers and staff. Also, terrible officiating from our match officials, and the football authorities allow these things. Later, if these guys go out and experience good officiating, it becomes abnormal to them. It's pathetic, and I'm angry when people always blame Raw for not picking home-based players with all these challenges, because he used another word, happening in our leagues. Okay, we'll leave it at that. This one says, Nigeria wahala dey like their bridge. Some parts go collapse and other parts remain. How can they invite all these home-based players against Mexico? Well, it's time for me to chop money because I'm going to bet Mexico to win over 5.5. Joel,
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
To the text message portal, this one says, good day, sports gang. My name is Promise, texting from Chuba. For me, I really want those home-based players to play our next friendly game against Mexico.
They are going to do just that.
I want to see them playing. But my question is, all these players, are they the best players in the MPFL? But if yes, then I want to see them playing. Good afternoon, presenters. It is shameful to forcefully allow Rivers United to represent the state in the FA Cup when they did not merit it. Question is, why bother for the competition in the first place? And how will other teams in the state grow? For me, Rivers United should be fined if found guilty. Greetings, Sodogu1. Why isn't Ndifrek Effiong in that place? Well, Ndifrek Effiong
is no longer a home-based player.
Emeka, just to add from my own self now, I think we have double standards for foreign coaches, and I think it needs to change. If it was Stephen Keshi will be the one naming home-based players. Stephen Keshi will be the one
coaching
going
them.
to Chan too at times. But foreign-based
exactly.
coaches,
When he was Super Eagles coach, he was also coach of the Chan
foreign
team.
coaches that take more money are
only
giving
in charge
waivers.
of the A team,
Only in charge of, and I don't think it makes. We shouldn't have an A. To me, we shouldn't have an A team.
Keshi was coach of the Super Eagles and the Chan team. No, he took the Chan team. In fact, he got us our first medal at the Chan tournament.
Sense, to me.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Albert. Be fast about it.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the way we are playing football here in the country, I think it's very bad, you understand? Because you might not be, maybe this one is smaller than you, and you don't want to give them a chance to represent the state. So I don't think we can make a progress like this, and it's a shame the way they're fighting and working on the as the other smaller things here.
All right, you have made your point. Thank you so much, Albert, for keeping it short and simple. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Stella West.
Yeah, how you doing?
Very well. Talk to us. Be fast about it.
Yeah, Rivers State need a better equipped team to represent his FA Cup, and Urumba will get in the top FA and the League Cup. You see that list you talked about, invited in the Super Eagles. I just followed that list. If there is any injury, it's a very good list, honestly, because they carefully selected those who can play, not name, who can play. And if you watch most of them that was invited, they can play. No, they have the zeal, they have the determination to play. Not a name, because...
But the experts are saying it might not necessarily be the best at this point in time. Presently, if you look at what's happening in the MPFL, that list might not necessarily be the best that we can produce at this point. But of course, that's where we'll be wrapping things up. Superman, thank you so much for being a part of this one.
My pleasure, Emeka.
All right, we'll be back same time tomorrow for yet another exciting edition of the show. But before then, Sports Attack will come your way 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Do it to join us for that one.
Every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Here is the news update at 4 on Today 95.1 FM. I am Kalada Kurubatabo. River State Governor Nyesom Wike has expressed gratitude to the people of Omuma and the member representing Omuma State constituency in the River State House of Assembly, Kelechi Wogu, for the support they have been extending to his government and the PDP. Governor Wike, who said this During the commissioning of the Umweze Umegberi Eberi roads in Omuma local government area of Rivers State, said some of the road and other projects in Omuma were made possible because of the trust and loyalty of Kelechi Wogu. Commissioning the project, the former president of the Senate, Adolphus Wabara, charged the people of Omuma to continue to support the governor for his numerous projects in the states. The chairmanship candidate of Labour Party in Degema local government area of Rivers State in the just concluded council election, Odoye Elekima, has closed his case at the tribunal sitting in Nigeria University of Education has suspended one of his students identified as Chimara Prince till further notice. Prince, who is a third-year student of Guardians and Counseling Department, is alleged to be a chronic smoker of Indian M, popularly called weed, in the hostel without regard to the feelings of his roommates. In a statement by the Vice Chancellor of the institution, Indimile Ozo Mekuri, the student who is involved in selling of Indian M to his fellow students inside the hostel was arrested with large sacks of some substance suspected to be Indian M. This statement revealed that the suspect has been handed over to the police for further interrogation, while the case has also been referred to the Senate Disciplinary Committee for the instruction to decide the fate with regard to his studentship. The chambers of the National Assembly began to leak profusely on Tuesday morning following a heavy downpour in Abuja. Most affected was the hallway of the White House. Cleaners in the National Assembly were immediately deployed to place bowls at the leaking spots to collect the flowing water. The cleaners were equally seen mopping and drying up the arena, which was becoming flooded. Recall that the National Assembly had allocated 37 billion naira in the 2021 budget for renovation of the complex. A high court in the Federal Capital Territory has sentenced the former chairman of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on petroleum subsidy, Farouk Lawan, to 7 years in prison. Lawan was during trial on Tuesday found guilty of count 1, 2, and 3, bordering on corruptly asking for and obtaining same from Femi Otedola in order to exonerate Zelon Petroleum and Gas Limited from the list of companies in the fuel subsidy scam. For count 1 and 2, the court sentenced him to 7 years, while for count 3, he was sentenced to 5 years. The sentences are to run concurrently. The court also ordered that the defendant return the sum of $500,000 to the federal government. President Muhammadu Buhari has urged the Senate to consider and approve 895 billion naira as supplementary budget. The President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, read President Buhari's letter of request on the floor at plenary. The Federal Executive Council had earlier approved the amount. A significant part of the fund has been allocated for procurement of military hardware to prosecute the war against insurgency and banditry. The federal government is also expected to use part of the fund to purchase COVID-19 vaccines and other health-related needs. On the foreign scene now, a helicopter pilot who confessed to killing his British wife in Greece and trying to cover it up as a botched robbery is testifying in court. 33-year-old Babis Anago 33-year-old Babis Anagnostopoulos wore a bulletproof vest and was surrounded by heavily armed guards when he arrived at the Athens courthouse. He is accused of killing his 20-year-old wife, Caroline Crouch, on 11th May in a crime that shocked Greece. He was arrested after police analyzed smartwatch and mobile phone data. Investigators found no trace of the gang. He claimed that tied him up, suffocated his wife, and stolen £15,000 in cash from him. That was the news update at 4 on Today95.1 FM. Do not forget, take responsibility. Wash your hands on the regular with soap and running water. Alternatively, have with you at all times alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Avoid touching your face and eye contact surfaces to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Good evening. I am Kala Da Korubatabo. Stay tuned. The platform on radio with Onyekachi Nwosu is up next.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now, make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
Yeah! The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
That we are here to illuminate. So thank you. As we celebrate a new year, we indeed have so much to give back. Amazing packages for you, yes, you and you. You like what you hear? Great. Then stay on this frequency. We go blow like chocolate.
All right. All right, welcome back. This is the platform on 95.1 Today FM. We'll quickly go to our second story, which is still on the Twitter story. It's been trending it's getting to almost a month now, if I'm correct. Just a few hours ago, the presidency, President Buhari particularly, approved the composition of federal government team to engage with Twitter over the recent suspension of its operations in Nigeria. The approval was announced in a statement in Abuja on Tuesday by the Minister for Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who incidentally is the chairman of that team. The federal government team also comprises the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister for Justice Abubakar Malami, Minister for Communications and Digital, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Minister for Works and Housing, Minister of State for Labor and Employment, as well as other relevant government agencies. Following the indefinite suspension of its operations in Nigeria for activities that are capable of undermining Nigeria's corporate existence, Twitter wrote to the president seeking to engage with the federal government over the suspension with a view to charting a path forward. Yes, just as that was going on in the villa, the ECOWAS court, also in Abuja, took a decision. You remember, Serap went to court to address some of these issues, especially the directive from the minister or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to media houses not to use Twitter any longer. In fact, they were directed to delete Twitter in our communications with our listeners and our viewers, as the case may be. The ECOWAS Court of Justice in Abuja today restrained the federal government from imposing sanctions sanctions or harassing, intimidating, or arresting or prosecuting Twitter. It also restricted the government from carrying out such actions against any other social media service provider, as well as media houses, pending the hearing and determination of a suit challenging the government suspension of Twitter operations in Nigeria. The court gave the restraining order following the suit filed by the Social, Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, and 176 concerned Nigerians. In the suit, the applicants argued that the suspension of Twitter by the Nigerian government was illegal. Yes, the government formed a committee to engage with Twitter. Remember, we understand that we're told that Twitter came out to reach out to the federal government to find an amicable solution to all of the quagmire. And then the government just today formed a team that will reach out to Twitter so that they can sit down and discuss. You remember also that the Minister for Information has severally come out to say it is high time Twitter begin to pay tax to Nigeria, to the Nigerian government. It is high time we begin to monitor the activities of all of these media giants, social media giants, Twitter, Facebook, and the likes. Today, the government formed a committee to reach out to liaise with Twitter. In your mind, or in my mind, in our minds, what do we think the government should be discussing with Twitter? Because the government has come out to say it is time for them to begin to pay tax. It is time for them to get registered with our Corporate Affairs Commission or whatever commission that registered organizations like that. Is this the practice elsewhere? What would all of this be? What's the implication of all of these on entrepreneurs, those who use Twitter and social media as their business, as a channel of communication in their line of businesses? Are we going to be heavily taxed by Twitter? Are we going to be heavily billed by Twitter? Because, of course, they will begin to pay tax if they agree to the demands of the federal government. If you're in the federal government team, what and what will you be discussing with the Twitter team? What are those issues? Let's look at those issues. I mean, this issue has been boiling. It's been one of the biggest issues in Nigeria in the last three weeks or thereabout. What do you think the committee should bring to the table now that the government has formed the committee? What and what should they bring to the table? I mean, should this committee just be government people? These are all ministers. Minister for Communication, Minister for Housing. You're wondering what the Minister of Housing and Works is doing in that committee. Yes, we can forgive. We can even allow the Attorney General of the Federation, Minister for Communication. So, but what's the Minister of Housing doing in that committee? What is he going to? Well, he's a lawyer. Some people will argue, but then let's hear you talk to us. 95.1. Good evening. Good evening, 95.1. All right, so these are the issues. But before we go, I think we'll have a message. Someone just dropped in. Okay, let's quickly take this call. 95.1. Good evening.
My brother, once again, Emeka from Owele.
Emeka, you're welcome.
You see, I just want to advise Twitter not to reduce themselves to that level. They should not compromise. Twitter is not only existing in Nigeria; it exists all over the world. You in the studio, you can imagine what these people are going to discuss with Twitter. If Twitter reduce themselves to that level, they will lose most of their customers. Are
you more concerned for Twitter or for your country, Nigeria?
Which country? Which country, Nigeria? I'm concerned for Nigeria. But what I'm saying is, their body language and the activities of government officials are not even making Nigeria to be one.
But they will, if they agree to government demands, don't you think they will pay tax and then government will have more resources to take care of you and I?
Their target is not even that tax, my brother. The target of government is not that tax. They know what they are doing. They want to gag the Twitter, gag the press, gag the social media, gag you in the studio, gag everybody. That is their primary plan. Forget about those tax they are calling you. Have you not been making money before?
All right.
When they were using Twitter, would they ask them even the president and all of them were using Twitter, would they ask them for their tax money or tax receipt? Oh God, forget all these things. I can preempt what these people want to discuss with those people. And I guess my own concern is on the side of Twitter.
All right,
they should not reduce themselves to that level. They should not reduce themselves to that level. Otherwise, if they compromise, compromise their future.
Thank you so much. Yeah. That's another leg to all of these arguments. People have been arguing, people have been saying they want to gag the media. We hear yesterday about the new code that is before we understand it has passed through second reading in the National Assembly. Today, the president of the Nigerian Guild of Editors spoke about it and said the NGE would do everything possible to stop that from sailing through. And the argument is that the government seems to be one providing all of the decisions and all of the conditions in that particular bill. And the media industry is saying, no, you can't be the one to do all of that. So is this another way to also gag the media? Could Mr. Kingsley be right? If Twitter agrees to all of these conditions, whatever condition the government presents before it, could it affect our access to Twitter? Could this be a way that government will begin to tell us what to post and what not to post? Where are we going to? Could this be true? 95.1, good evening. 95.1, good evening.
Evening, Prince. I'm back on the line.
Prince.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
My suggestion to federal government is to actually ensure that whatever Nigerians put into Twitter, whatever we are supposed to put into Twitter is properly regulated. Whatever that comes out of Twitter, in as much as it has to do with Nigerians, is properly regulated. Yes.
Regulated? What do you mean by regulated? I mean, we can't. Are you saying we can't criticize the action of the government?
If we must criticize, let it be very constructive. You don't just begin to.
How do you define constructive?
Constructive is that if you want to say that the government is not doing well, you know how to put it. You don't say Buhari has gone mad, Buhari is dead. You saw Buhari lifeless. This is not Buhari, it is Jubri. I mean, all those things is just to incite problems. And me, as a Nigerian, I am not support of it outside politics. You don't talk to a man that if you see him face to face, you cannot say the same thing. But because of you are using the media space, you must say all manner of nonsense. Just like using your radio station, I cannot say in your radio station that Wike is a madman. I mean, why I know that if I see Wike, I cannot say the same thing.
Yeah, okay.
Should be regulated. This issue started because this issue is like this because Nnamdi Kanu.
Let's not digress out of this issue and go to other issues. But your points have been noted. The points you've raised have all been noted. Your point is that we shouldn't. The federal government should not allow Twitter to be used to foment trouble. That's the
not just Twitter. Every other sister media, what have you, should be properly regulated. How the e-laws should be regulated. What you say and what you don't say. They should also have respect for Nigerians and their government.
Right.
I mean, you don't just belittle people like that because you have given us a platform to do business or what have you. I think it should be 50-50. Nigerians should respect Twitter. Do their bidding to an extent. Twitter should do the same for Nigerians.
Thank you so much. So that other callers can have the platform also. But I'm sure people will be saying to you also that look, it should be two ways. It should cut across. Both those in government should also be regulated. So we shouldn't just allow those in authority to, throw things out. You remember a minister in this cabinet sometimes did something and Twitter had to put down his tweet about a musician. All of those things should cut across all and sundry. 95.1, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Alozie, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. You see, Twitter. This has been trending for over months now in this country. Some people are saying federal government should regulate it. Some are saying they should be regulated. My own humble opinion is this. I think there are people who are in the rural areas that have access to mobile devices in a way of airing their own view in the administration of the country. They use Twitter. It's a platform that people make their wish, their intention, their dedication to be known. And I want to say this, and I've been saying it, like a government that want to mortgage everybody to dance to their tune is not a growing government.
All right.
That's what I'm speaking to you. Nigerian government, they don't want to hear anything from the city.
Okay.
They are very interested in what that will suit them. The party, are you aware that the reason why they said we should...
So, but you guys have taken me away from my question. My question is actually, now that the government has gone ahead to form a committee made up of some ministers, What do you think should be in the mind of this committee? What should they be discussing with Twitter? Because I'm sure they'll meet the team from Twitter very soon, and then discussion would commence. Bearing in mind also that the Minister of Information has come out severally to say that it's time for Twitter to begin to pay tax to the Nigerian government. What else do you think they should be discussing with Twitter so that all of these can be resolved, and then those who make use of Twitter for their daily meal and bread, go ahead with it?
Okay, answer to your question, Kachi. See, first of all, they will make sure they implement the tax aspect of it. They will make sure the tax stamp, Twitter must be tax to Nigeria. Now, the next one they will say is this. They will make sure that Twitter will create a platform or a page to monitor some things, some criticisms that they will not tolerate based on whatever that will be the agreement.
Okay. And I think that will be so that other callers can also have the platform to talk. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, 95.1, good evening. This may be our last call on this very issue. 95.1, good evening.
Yes, my brother, this is still Lawson calling from Yenegua.
Lawson, you're welcome.
This is very simple. You know, Twitter is not stupid. They know why they decide to reach out to federal government, because if you look back, if you check, they've lost so much, billions, in billions. I can tell you that.
Just like Nigerians have also lost so much. Those who use Twitter for their business. Those who use Twitter
for the businesses of individuals, not
the government. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Nigerians have lost.
But the government is not getting anything.
Unfortunately so. Would you agree with me that it's unfortunate that the government may not be thinking about its citizens in this regard?
No, the government is thinking about the citizens. Let me tell you something. You see, the people of Rwanda today, they are regretting. You know why they are regretting?
Tell us, please.
They feel if the radio stations have been checked, regulated, there wouldn't have been genocide. This whole genocide in Rwanda started with the use of radio. Radio was free for everybody, calling some cockroaches from that. We will do this, we will do that. Before you know, people got incited and they were all out.
So you have the view that Twitter should be, social media should be, Twitter should be regulated?
Yes, regulated in the way, not that you cannot look at the way you are regulating us. You don't let us cross the line. You don't allow us to say anything that we ought not to say. I can tell you are very good, honestly, as a presenter. People cause problems, tell fake news like as you are now. If somebody come and then they tell, oh, this has happened, that, and you will say, no, we have not confirmed that. Don't say this on radio. And then you cut off. So it's that kind of thing we are saying. Okay. It's not as if you cannot yet criticize government. You can. But do it responsibly. That is just it.
All right,
you don't come out and say some kind of things that do not even exist. Oh, Hausa people are killing Igbo people. The Yoruba people are killing the Job people. All those things, yes,
thank you so much.
My brother.
Yeah,
so, yes, let them just regulate it, check it. If there is need to pay taxes, thank God they have now come together to talk. It's dialogue. Dialogue, yes, it will take time. It's painful, torturous, but at the end of the day, the result that will come out of it is a win-win result for everybody involved.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, but quickly, let me read out the message we have on our message box here. Okay, this is about the first issue that was treated. My namesake, good evening. I left Oyigo 2001 because bad roads till today they are still suffering the same thing. All right. The other message say it's not a cassava plantation. It's not a cassava plantation, Oga. It's a cassava processing plant. Okay, thank you so much for correcting me. Chia. That's your name. Oh, thank you. Yeah, cassava processing plant. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll quickly go to our next stop, which is of course our last for today, and very interesting one it is. This is rainy season, and some people, our federal lawmakers in Abuja, could not work today, or their work was delayed today because it rained. Yes, it rained. It rained inside the complex in Abuja and then inside the complex, because we saw pictures of some people, workers in that complex, trying to scoop water away from the building. One wonders, this is the same building that we understand So much was budgeted for sometimes in 2017 or 2018. When I started about 37 billion naira. It was a whole lot of issues that time. And what now happened was that renovation stopped. Let me quickly go through the story. There was downpour in Abuja at the FCT on Tuesday morning, leaving several parts of the National Assembly complex flooded. The central lobby at the White House section of the building, which adjoins the Senate and House of Representatives chambers, was flooded. Other areas affected include the third and last gate to the premises, as well as the road linking the office of the Secretary to the government of the Federation to the National Assembly, were especially flooded. The Senate had resumed plenary on Tuesday, while the House is to resume on June 28, 2021, as the National Assembly returns from midterm break. At the lobby, workers of the two private firms engaged for cleaning services at the complex were busy mopping the floor while it rained. Water could be seen dropping from several points on the famous green roof. Some senators watched as the workers struggled to keep the floor dry. At the House, the downpour delayed legislative activities at several committees, which had scheduled the meetings. Their meetings and hearings for the morning were forced to delay the event, as several workers and guests were said to have been trapped in their vehicles. Wow. The rich also cry. Wow. But this is quite difficult to believe. Not because money was earmarked for that complex, but because this is after Asorok. This is the next place. How come the roof was leaking? I mean, what happened? Can somebody just talk to us? What happened? What happened? Oh my God, this is heartbreaking. I mean, I can't believe this happened. I mean, people were scooping water from the floor, from the ground in the National Assembly complex. And we understood that the lawmakers were watching them. We were astonished. They were flabbergasted. Is it flabbergasted? They were surprised. Oh God. What happened? In our building that 37 billion naira was earmarked for renovation in 2017? Somebody should explain something to us. Abdul Rashid Bawa, EFCC, or whatever. We'll need an explanation here. 95.1, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
This is Obona calling you from Port Harcourt.
Obona, please. What do you make of the flood in the National Assembly complex?
As you just said this in where my mind went, only God knows how much that will be earmarked this period.
To do the another renovation.
For renovation, that's what they keep doing. Most of these contracts, when they start issuing it out, it's not that they want to do anything. It's part of the doing.
The doing? How did you know?
Yeah. I'm telling you, because you can't earmark 17.
Have you been in lawmaker? Have you worked there before?
I have not, but you don't need to be in certain places for you to know things that are good. We are in Asorok today to know that they scooped water. Sorry, in the National Assembly to know that they scooped water.
Okay, but again, I mean, water can enter anybody's house now. But I mean,
but we are in Asorok. We are in.
No, but the point is that this. I mean, yes, I have said they spent. So they budgeted. The issue is that it was budgeted. They budgeted so billions to renovate that complex.
How would you spend that amount to renovate a complex and it's leaking? It goes a long way to
maybe
tell
the contractor didn't do a good job now.
If the contractor didn't do a good job in a complex of National Assembly.
No, but the point is that I mean, the materials used for constructing the assembly is the same material used for constructing your own house. The fact that the lawmakers sit there to make law and do their meetings and do their officials, that does not mean that it was built by the angels. It's the same material, the same cement, the same wood and everything. So maybe like the last caller said, maybe something we've not been told exactly what happened.
Let me ask you something. Have you asked yourself some of the roads some of our politicians work? Sometimes 2 years or 1 year, 5 months left, you see those roads start decaying. Have you asked yourself why? So that more money and more construction.
Let's not be too quick to conclude. I'm sure the management of the National Assembly, there's a clerk of the National Assembly. I think it falls on his table to let Nigerians know what happened.
You want the contractor to build the roof the 100 years. Won't you eat again?
All right, thank you so much, Honorable. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 95.1, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Oji Andy, and I'm calling you from Obo.
All right.
Yeah, I think the whole thing has to do with fighting corruption. They are fighting corruption, if you ask me. Because with what we have heard in the past, 37 billion naira for renovation. I am tempted to ask if the president really knows what is happening.
There's a budget that goes to the National Assembly, so it's not it's not in the purview of the president. You know, the National Assembly prepares, gets to the president prepares, gets to the National Assembly, scrutinizes, and then it gets back to his president and all of. There's a budget for the national. Every year there's a budget for them, so it was part of the budget for that year for the renovation of the complex.
Exactly. Do you know if the money, if the president must sign before the money comes out? Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
So what are we talking about? My brother, the whole thing is just that these people, they are out there. They owe us one thing. One thing they owe us in life is every morning, let's give them a headline to talk about. Read that at the market. So that as we keep talking about one, before one will finish, they'll bring up another one.
This is what you should do. Every 4 years, you take your PVC and go to the polling booths to vote out any member who you think is not performing at the National Assembly. I think that's the right thing to do. Not to give them headline every morning. 95.1, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, please speak up a bit.
Yeah, my name is Sele West. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the roofing, it's not wooden roof. It's the type they use welding, the aluminum, the weld.
Were you part of the contractors?
No, that is the type of roofing there. I know the National Assembly.
Oh, okay. You've been there.
Yeah, so it's not there any rod, that can be slide up and the rain will come in through there. Not that I'm making case for them all.
Okay, what you're saying is that the way it is roofed, any of those roofs can.
The wind can.
Remove.
Affect, one of the screw.
Okay.
And then from there the rain can penetrate.
Okay.
I'm not saying they are good though.
Okay.
The National Assembly, they are the worst National Assembly so far. The worst.
All right.
So.
Thank you so much. This is another angle to use. Maybe the wind came and then took away one of the roof and then the rain entered from there, like he had just said. The other guy also suggested that maybe somebody did not close the window or a particular door and then the wind came in, the rain came in and entered through that very open door. Let's hope that we'll hear the official statements in time to come. 95.1, good evening.
My brother, once again, Emeka from Owerri. Good evening.
Emeka, make it very short. We'll have some messages to read here before we.
Okay, I will make it very short. I will make it very short. I told you earlier, when they say, look, government, they don't have money. I'm one of the people that never agree on that. There is money. Look at the amount of money you called. I remember when this was causing arguments all over the country, the election of financial assembly, this. Look at the amount of the amount you mentioned now that can give a state, a full estate of 1,000 units of house. This party can give you full estate. Why is there various houses where they're living? Why is it not leaking? Why is it National Assembly that spend this kind of money? And somebody wants to give an excuse that the material they use. Which material? You know the amount of money you mentioned? Right. Some countries, some nations, all these some small countries don't even have that kind of the House of Assembly cost up to that amount.
Thank you so
the
much.
corruption is too high. There is money. They want to allocate, give contract to somebody to fix that thing. And that person will make his money. And that's the amount of 70% they use now. I tell you, 70% of it was not used on that building.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, quickly, we'll have some messages here. The first one is about the Twitter. Good evening, Onyekachi. Twitter has been banned because they didn't understand what President Muhammad Buhari meant by his message. The message was a reminder or an advice, not a threat. If Twitter wanted to delete a bad message, then they would have done that to others before doing that to the president. Twitter has no respect to president at all. Singto from Port Harcourt. Their presenter, it should not be only flawed and roof looking. Let there be thunderstorm to carry. Okay, we can't take this. Whatever that means, we can't take this. We can't. They are still our lawmakers, so we must keep praying for them. All right, that's about the size of our package this evening. The platform has been a production of our news department. Do not forget to take responsibility, wash your hands frequently with soap and running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent COVID-19. My name is Oyeka Chiwonsu. Don't forget, our land will be green again. Let's continue to be optimistic. Bye for now.
Put on my new shades and started reclining. Hey, I'm in the picture, I'm in the beamer. First I hit up Kabir, then I holler at Halima. Now with the steeds that's combining. Now it's too easy, we don't have to find him. Hey, world famous, and my name is NATO C. Truckloads of P, and those other rappers don't come close to me unless them other rappers become clones of me. Hey, hopefully I'm already top 10. Let my demeanor justify my ends. Hey, Easter in DC, summertime in Giddy. Hey, we in Babylon.
Sai, dawo. Eyele kammi. Oda uma. Avare, irioko. Akauke nang. We jireko. Abeg. Do. A diversion. Make we enter Today FM 95.1. And now waiting they happen. Nang they happen for Parakad. Mba, cause no be. Sai, dawo. Eyele kammi. Oda uma. Avare, irioko. Akauke nang. We jireko. Abeg. Do. A diversion. Make we enter Today FM 95.1. And now waiting they happen. Nang they happen for Parakad. Mba, cause no be.
Shock bell, my shock bell.
You have done. You have been good, you have been kind, you're my everything. That is why I've come to give you the praise, oh God. From the bottom of my heart I will sing. Chikero, I made him way, made him way, Meka. Made him way, Dami, made him way, Kaka. Made him way, made him way, Meka. Made him way, Dami, made him way, Kaka. God, my master and my maker, you're the Lord of my soul. When I'm broken, Lord, you hold me safely in your hands. That is why I've come to give you the praise, oh God. For your mercy and your love I will sing. Chikero, I made him way, made him way, Meka. Made him way, Dami, made him way, Kaka. Made him way, made him way, Meka. Made him way, Dami, made him way, Kaka. Chikero, I made him way, made him way, Meka. Made him way, Dami, made him way, Kaka.
gentlemen, he made him by Caroline Afret. Caroline Afret, he made him, Kiyokike, he made him, Abasimi, made him, Sairawo, Abang says, he made him. Ladies and young gentlemen, I want to welcome everybody. This is not song when I just hear now by he made him by Caroline Alfred. On I know I'm now. She come here with her husband, Pastor Alfred. Yuru Alfred. Listen. Do you understand? You know I'm now 3 Friday ago. He come here. He carry me say go chop. Very nice husband and wife. The husband name na Pastor Alfred, aka Yame Senya. Yes, more fire. Ladies and young gentlemen, I want to welcome everybody to Waiting the Happen Cathedral, Love Ambassadorial Ministry. Today is our tithe and offering day. Today is our Cathedral day. Now they will be say, if you know say you never pay your tithe, make you bring your tithe now before I enter the podium, begin to preach. Are you with me? I don't see one person where we say, if they owe tithe, you come with me for prayer. That prayer I not go pray for you because now person where we say they pay tithe, now the prayer give. I don't think wastage prayer. Because I come here, I say na Pharaoh crown where they put prayer. You know go crow. Why you the robbery court? You want me to pray for you? You never brought your tithe. If I'm not, you know good. So I beg, I don't want to shout today. You see, I'm saying my voice don't try. They better. Listen. Correspondence to yesterday. Are you with me? So people of Oracle, in case they wonder who is talking to you, open your Bible with me to the book of Today, chapter 95, verse 1 FM. Thank you very much, Caroline Alfred, for this beautiful praise and worship where you bring. This is now worship time now. Everybody lift up your hand. Your tender mercy, Dicky, no stick and could not chew your mouth if you don't know the song. They hum, not the chew your mouth. Don't spoil my spirit, I beg. Just carry on. If you not say no spray perfume, no raise your hand. Just be like say you they bend down. Kneel down, they worship God. No stand up. Carry your hand up. I beg, no kill me. I'm my time to die. Never farish. I beg. What it mean? Ah. You know, say this is about worship leader where they sing in jail. You know, one kill and with Marodo. You know they sabi the song. No the song. Dickiness Rose Oko. Why you set your hand like say they do Jojo inside worship song. Keep your hand down, mama. No sing. You go enter room, go pray for reason. No, you don't know the song. Rifa. I beg me could they sing Caroline, Minister Caroline. When you're one friend, you see I'm into of it. I'm not gonna learn from me. You understand me? You understand me? You see I'm saying me now, and she and with the fro. You understand me? No shout that shout, yay! No shout yay if you know say you know sabi song. No they shout when you supposed to shout the song. Dickin Ekiti. Dickin Emenike from Indere. Dickin Chris. Dickin this man. Ekwekwe. Dickin Aruchi, Dickines, go be like man. Dickines Aruchi. Okay. This cry, why you they cry? Dickin $2 no be say na Holy Spirit they touch you. Now your house rent where they remembrance when they never pay. When make you they cry. I know you very well. You get it heart of stone. Which time we begin to cry for worship? Go be down for.
Thank you, Jesus, for being mine.
Now go play song well on Asabi. You can not spoil this woman's song for them, I beg. Mr. Caroline, thank you very much for that song. Thank you. It's a pressurized gratified. Now this one well, I know. How about Jesus?
Mama mio, si afomare mi telephone, I'm what it on.
I can see a woman there. The Lord is showing me a woman right now. The woman is sat down for a frontage of house. You the talk say you never see the money from person where we say they owe you. And you the face Say the person never give you your money. And you dey take court, make him go destruction the person. Make him go worry the person. Destruction the person, peace of mind. But you the owe person. And you don't want payment. How you want to so con, you can't repay. Even if they be like twins when they chop them. You know they work like that. Go pay your rate. If a person where they owe you, go pay you. And if they talk too much, it go good for this period because the Lord they tell me say you get mad order. So begin the talk, no they think come for your heart. Your name start with R. 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 It start with R. Rate R. I can see a lady there. You get one particular we found when you don't wash. First of all, and we found now you don't change to wig. From wig now you don't change to face cap. Because you don't wear them. Sun don't beat them, rain don't beat them. Even Hamatan don't beat them. This we found where they your hate. It don't reach like 4 years where you buy them. You know they change them. The name don't come to Jehovah, never change it. Jehovah never change it. I am set to tell you right now, Sarah, you better begin to bob your hair, go and bob your hair. Because everybody don't know you without your wig. I mean, we fun. So tell you they slap your hair. You don't slap. Even when pastor want do the reference for you, immediately that week for pastor if you. No be say the demon where they inside you big person. Now the body or now the head order. Your head get order. The head order from your head. You don't drive the man of God. I can see a man who say me prayer warrior for one church. You say you get the current to pray for people. And you be prayer warrior. Your pastor we ordering you prayer warrior mad not a me. You will be prayer warrior. You cannot be like your leader. You carry man order. You say now your strategy to destroy demons and power of darkness. All you they do not to laugh for the face of your membership. The person where they pray for. You can use the little the cake go fall. That thing happened last week. I see what God they show me. The cake fall last week. You say now the power of God. Not be the power of God. Now the power of MO. Man order. So tell you tell the girl, so that person when we say they carry the hold the cake as the cake fall. As you laugh at your after the cake fail. You say make them pick the cake. They pick on the first time. You as you come meet the girl, say, you demon, I cast you. How? The girl don't You tell the girl, say, you are just starting. This is just the beginning. You don't they cry. The girl begin to bring out water from your eye. Because when she want fall, you know they can make him fall. You say make them hold him. Say the spirit is a very stubborn spirit. Before you know the girl yours face. As you just do that thing, the girl yours face. 4 by 4. Now you're after. You tell the girl, the Lord is not done with you. You tell your fellow prayer warriors, make them pick her up. Now in the gate shout, I don't the river. No be the demon. The demon see the right body. But the demon safe. The dismay humble the demon in get to hide. Now that can come manifest, no be the demon. Go and wash your mouth. No, make your mouth smell like maize. And then what's in the rule you? No, they blaspheme the name of God. Say as your mouth is made and you they conduct the difference. Now who you want to deliver? The person where they carry the demon, I be the demon. I can saw it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome everybody. I have switched out of that realm. What the Lord have spoke, I have speak. Yes, the Bible says in the book of Ruth 10 verse 5. Once have he spoke, twice have I believed, and yes, I am the prophetess herself. My name na prophetess Deaconess Emeritus Esquire. Mommy G.O. prophetess doctor. Funny would they make a phone up and get a dead mark banana fear or maybe you will get left them after the autumn the swagger baby. Don't everyone is for after and you make kifty pretty. The golden carinto, Rokinto, Rafinto, and Jerusalem baby. Yes, my radio husbandry, aka the assistant and that is G.O. is right now is out of town. He go to do the reference for person. The case get spirit of biting. And I just pray, make him carry the spirit where I keep him go. Make that kid no bite him, because that kid bite him. I go lock him for one separate room, make him no bite me for night. People of Parakot, I want to welcome everybody to waiting the Apun Cathedral, Deacon Ihena Cho, Deacon Tumodora, Deacon Tumodora, I be like man, I make I call you Deacon sometimes, sorry. Deacon is Tumodora, Deacon Rose Oko. All of honor. I want to welcome everybody. Deacon left, right, center. Deacon something must kill a man. Everybody wake. Open your Bible with me to the book of today, chapter 95, verse 1. Ephraim. Thank you, Swagger Choir, for that beautiful song. Open your Bible with me to the book of today, chapter 95, verse 1. Chapter 95, verse 1a, he say, ye, first Bible reading, lady narrates how her eldest sister who came for Omukwo snatched her husbandry from her. Second Bible reading, ye, chapter 95, verse 1b, a grief wife cries out after husbandry sends her naked, aka nude pictures to his side chick to body shame her after giving birth to 3 children. So the full Bible reading, chapter 95, verse 1a, full Bible reading here about the lady that narrated our eldest sister who came from Omukwo, snatch her husband, say, the eldest sister, at the kind of cut I'm short, the eldest sister of this lady, Mrs. Linda Obinna. Mrs. Linda Obinna is the woman that is narration our elder sister. Say elder sister name na Chitru. Chitru. If you know say we get person what they call Chitru for your street, and you be marriage woman. Chitru every time they come visit you, and only when your husband in their house. Tell them say you're saying on a don't travel. Even if he see you pass them, tell them say na your spirit be that, no be you. Every spirit of Chitru, I bind and cast you. Take it. Every spirit of Chitru. And every spirit of Chitru, I bind you, I bind you, I bind you, Chitru, I bind you, spirit of Chitru, 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 I bind you. Kenyan Jesus, so he said that Chitru, now to show the woman the face, he don't even call him sister Chitru. He said Chitru. He said Chitru, when he born in Pekin, Chitru come, say he want to rule Omukwo, since the mama don't die. Just for Chitru, every time he enter the bedroom, whenever she know there, you go see Chitru they come out from inside their own matrimony bedroom, and the husband they there inside. Now he asked Chitru one day, and this is why we say they always come out from my bedroom. Whenever they come back from where I go, maybe I go buy something for frontage. She go just peep peep. Now that they call them operation sharp. You understand? She don't even know what's in the happen in that time. Now in that I'm saying no, he go lay the pikin for bed for the baby cut. No, he say he don't go lay the husbandry for the how want to put this one now? The like he put their pikin for baby cut. This one I input the husbandry for husband cut, aka the bigger bed. You understand me? So the man now a big bed, that they picking a small bed. So long as they say laying, he don't lay the man, he don't lay him. You understand? Like sacrifice, where Isaac give Abraham give Isaac for the mountain. You understand me? He lay him like that. You understand me? And this they happen once, not twice. Now one day, she tell Chitru say she dey come out. Say she want go greet her neighborship where born for the next compound. No, he say na plan work where the woman don't get. I don't know the spirit where revelation to this woman say that sister they sleep with her husbandry. He say he just get the feeling. He say this is sister in the farm marriage. He don't they old. He don't old. So tell the woman face possibly this kind of women. They go don't face bleach. They don't bleach. From yellow they will come the red. From red they will come the pink. You understand me? Na rainbow color, 3 in 1. You understand? Black, yellow and yellow, red and pink. You understand me? You just combination them togetherness, aka rainbow. You understand what I'm saying? Now the woman say now the woman, this is her sister. He just see making come back, making knock. You understand? He no just knock. He go the window, put ear. The ear soundtrack. And that in here, that sister, a useless woman. You know, he sabi shout like coat. You know, they sabi shout with shame. If they shout shameless shout. If they shout without shame. Eh? And Igbo. Maybe go to shout nine. Everything they call I don't die for Igbo. Say, how do they call this thing? Oh, say. Hi, I don't want to call I don't die for Igbo. I want to lekwenu mesisi o me lekwenu mesisi say nine the man go dey shout ogadimma you understand me? And maybe now as a wife free now you know how your husband dey carry do soundtrack when then they do that thing, but now you don't come here another soundtrack and off soundtrack. I go to shout nine. Maybe this husband they shout ogadimma. She has this mama baby now go to shout umunna. The man go to shout ogadimma ogadimma. Come to hear nine odogu. Which can who be odogu? Just for them to open door. In don't first knock for the window face. Then I'm saying, are you waiting the happen there? Are they waiting the happen there? Are they hear the news? We on the newscaster. I don't hear them. Just for the man to fit defend himself because the woman don't catch them from window. Just for the woman to open door. They lock door. Then open door. See, I'm saying the woman safe. The sweat, Raw and SmackDown, WWE, my favorite sport. They didn't work. Where this woman they sweat. So the woman now don't talk say. So this his sister was supposed to be mother to him. When we say come do omukwo, he don't turn to omunne for inside in bedroom. So people of Badako, that is the first Bible reading. So now the mattress where they for grand. Second Bible reading. Chapter 95 verse 1b. A broken-hearted wife have cried out on social media after she discovered that her husband sent her naked photos to his side chicken in a bid to body shame her. Mama don't born three. When you don't marry woman first time, you that same shape where you get before you marry her, thinking that same shape go still there, body go change. You understand me? Because you don't enter motherhood. And you go okay, make I read the full story, Sha. Because this thing don't affect me. According to the lady, she had bantered words with the said side chicken, who in turn sent her copies of her naked picture, threatening to expose them to the internet if she doesn't retreat, aka relax. Relaxation are mine. The aggrieved, that means that's where they face the aggrieved wife-free revelation that the humiliation she is currently facing she's currently facing as the mistress sent her screenshots of her husband calling her names and body shaming her, calling her names like bag of curry, life with no balance at this one. In short, the name what they see here, the name bring this life with no balance, eh? I see that woman picture now. I forfeit know whether in life balance or not. But wait, face. You as a married man, I mean now because I don't want to take or I say God, I beg, Baba, if you do I'm in the way we say men's fi carry belly, eh? Born, make their body change. If I could now you they say this thing where they see now, eh?